There's a dream I feel so rare, so real. All the world in union, the world as one, gathering together. One mind, one heart, every creed, every color, once joined, never apart, searching for the best in me. I will find what I can be. If I win, lose or draw, there's a winner in us all. It's the world in union, the world as one, as we climb to reach our destiny. We face high mountains, must
Okay, let me just unmute my guest and we can get the show started. Yeah, I love that version of the song because all the other later versions, I don't know, they sound more like power ballads and yeah, I know they sell in different countries, but yeah, the first version was definitely the best. But anyway, guys, and oh dear, Ireland has appeared to have disappeared. Oh dearie me, we've appeared to have lost the Doom.
You didn't say anything, you just disappeared.
Okay, hopefully we return. But anyway, yo, Street Monsters, make some noise for some bizarre
I'm
reason.
here. Can you hear me?
Oh, cool. Ireland has returned. Anyway, yo, Stream Monsters, make some noise for whatever bizarre reason I
Can you
appear
hear
to
me?
have 0 viewers.
Ah, we have a couple of people there, what the hell?
Ah, cool. Okay, excellent. Ah, yes, Ireland has finally returned. We are now at full strength, and we can begin the show thus forth. Like I said, hello everybody, and welcome to Tournament Standards Time, episode 25. And again, this is a mad special episode because combined with 25 episodes of the People's Podcast, that's 50 episodes, one whole year of work. And I thought, what a cool idea! Why don't I get all my previous guests on at the same time? So we've got, yeah. So from the Emerald Isle, we have Doctordoom. How are you doing, brother? Whoa. Yo, Doom, you there? Can you hear us?
He is completely silent.
Oh,
I'm not bad. How are you?
oh, excellent. And representing England, we have James Bardoff.
Having problems here.
Matt,
Whoa. Yo, James, can you hear us? James?
what?
Oh, yeah, can you hear me, bruv?
Yeah, hello.
Whoa, what's happening here?
Hello? Hello?
Okay. Okay, yo, James, all right, we've appeared to have lost, well, Affro, you still there?
Yeah, it'll be 5 minutes. No, just take it in.
Okay.
Cool.
All right, we've lost, we've appeared to have lost Doom. I guess the Irish internet has bodied him. Yo, Justin, you there?
Yeah, I'm about something.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering if I could get 6 people on with video call. Now I know, probably not.
We were all trolling you, by the way.
We were trolling you
Well,
like fuck, man. We were trolling you like fuck. We were pretending that we weren't here and shit.
Oh, you buggy boned! You
Yeah.
ruined my
But
big
Nick
show.
kind of ruined it, let's be honest. Nick ruined it at the beginning. We were all silent, and Nick's like, hello, I'm Nick.
Fuck
So,
shit.
It wouldn't be the FGC if it wasn't for some mild trolling now, would it? But like I said, we got the 4 quarters of the UK FGC. Well, until Doom reappears. Doom, you there? No, Doom has gone AWOL until he returns. we'll be like I said, we'll get back on schedule. But anyway, let's start off with some news. And normally I would just find stuff, but I just realised I got everybody in the UK here, so we can just talk about what's going on in a particular region. So
It's a small country, man.
yeah, gotcha, bruv.
Nine
So
people.
yeah, gotcha. So Affro, anything happening down in Scotland besides the weeklies? Was it Saltaire Suites at Level Up or stuff like that?
Nah,
No.
just usual weekly stuff.
Okay.
I bought Persona and then realised it's a fucking brilliant game. That's about it.
Okay, cool. All right, okay. You're still going to be doing, was it hype spotting in, was it the end of this year sometime?
Well, we're doing 2 events, but Hype Spotting will still be one a year. The second event will be a more tournament hardcore event, so it'll be straight double elimination between 4 and 6 games. We're undecided yet, but we're going to try different formats. It's probably going to be called King of Iron Fist.
Oh, okay.
Iron Brew have already said they're going to give us some backing on it, so...
Okay, gotcha. So there's nothing monthly happening between now and then?
No, not really.
Okay then. Yeah, Justin. Obviously, you got a bit of a event happening in August, which will be the center. We'll discuss in much greater detail. But is there anything happening with Electronic Dojo? Sort of monthly before now and then, or
We're looking at running dojo, just our weekly kind of dojo nights once a week up until the event. We're actually going to be doing London Anime Con as well, so we'll be doing some cool tournaments there.
okay.
And I'm pissing off the Evo, so for whatever weekend that's on, there will be no dojo night on that day, I guess. But outside of that, we're just gonna make sure everyone's got somewhere to play until at least versus fighting, and just kind of get all our guys level up. Everyone's kind of got real life.
When is versus fighting?
10th and 11th of August.
10th and 11th of August, yeah, that sounds sick.
Yeah, so hopefully that'll be pretty good as well.
Okay.
And yeah, so that's, and everyone else knows what else is going on, so yeah.
Okay, sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me just sort this cameras out, but hopefully, so be audio only until I get this sorted out. Damn it. Because we've lost Doom. But, yo, James, you'll be running those Shadow Lu qualifiers when they get announced, in it?
I'm still working on that at the moment. Just been too busy doing other stuff, so it's been on the back burner a little bit. Well, actually, it's complicated. It's part of it's been on the back burner, and other parts are active. But there's not a whole lot I want to say about them at the moment because I'm still trying to, like you might know by now. I'll try and just get on with stuff, and then and now talk about it when it's ready. But it's not ready yet, so there's nothing to report now. Basically, I don't want to waffle on. But
Okay, now fair enough. So nothing else planned on. No hints about the possible resurgence of Winner Stays On.
Well, Gamerbase might be making a return, but
okay.
that's a very big might at the moment. But we'll see about that. But I'm having a lot of conversations with a lot of people on a lot of different topics, and that is one of them. So we'll just leave it at that for now, and then see what happens.
Okay. Yo, Nick. Apparently, the next proving ground will be the last one, won't it?
Yeah. Why is
that's
that?
True. The Limit Break. We're kind of branching off to different things now. League of Legends, Counter-Strike, stuff like that. So we're going to give the kind of fighting games a bit of a break now. I don't really play much fighting games anymore. I only really play Injustice, but not competitive, just for a laugh. So that's mainly why. We weren't actually going to do this Proving Grounds, but ever since what happened to Dan,
Yes.
this is kind of an event in his honour, if anything. We're doing it for him. Any money we make from this event will go into his family as well, so it's
good
like
on
purely
you.
for him.
Okay. You got a date for that? Because I would most definitely want to be down for that.
Not yet. It's still kind of up in the air at the moment. But there's just Waste Man Weeklies as well. We have them every Tuesday in Bristol.
Oh yeah, I'm never gonna get tired of that name. Yeah, shouts to Super Battle Minor Farm, was it? Or was it? Have I got the wrong way around?
Super Minor Battle Farm.
Oh yeah, that was it. Yeah, shouts to the FMBF guys, solid guys, and yeah, okay, it's a damn shame because that was a pretty good event, the Proving Ground series, because you had a couple of big names going down, and a lot of the Scottish lads always made it down there, didn't they, Affro?
Yeah, man, it was a good laugh. You know, we had to turn up and put tent back and fucking Planet Earth, show them that we can lift more than he can, etc.
Ooh, I like it, the fighting words.
Well, we'll see. Like, Proving Grounds is gone for now. It depends how we feel. I mean, we might go back to fighting games. You never know. So, as far as it is now, that is our last Proving Grounds. We might do something else. Who knows?
Oh, okay. That's a damn shame, but like I said, so you've got no confirmed date, but it'll definitely happen then.
Oh yeah, it'll definitely happen. Just no date right now.
Okay, cool. Right, well, I'm still trying to sort out these damn overlays. Hold up. Yeah, like I said, because you're the new boy. Yeah, you're the new boy on the block. Like I said, yeah. So we'll just answer these questions in a nice quick succession, then we get to the main media subject. So, Nick, what was your first competitive fighting game?
Street Fighter.
Excellent. What for?
Probably no. Actually, I think it was CVS 2. Back at remember Fighters Day in Yates.
You know?
Yeah, I went to that.
Oh, okay, what date was that? Because I might have seen you, but I didn't know who the hell you were.
2004, I think it was.
Okay, that weren't me. That I was in Southampton, preoccupied. Oh yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, sorry,
I remember Desk destroying me in CVS 2. That's all I remember of that whole event. So yeah, that was probably my first proper fighting game event.
Oh, okay, sick. All right then. And so what is your favourite game then?
Fighting game?
Yeah.
Marvel 3.
Okay.
Is it me, or is there like an overlay showing on the stream?
Yeah. Oh no, there we go.
Okay. Oh, he's
We're all in the wrong place.
Oh, okay, that's why he's doing all that. All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, I'm correcting them now then. It's a damn shame because I had such a nice little layout with little flags underneath, but because Doom has disappeared, it moves them all aside. So we're gonna keep it nice and simple. Anyway, so we can talk while we're sorting the layouts. Damn. But anyway, time for the main meat of the subject. Yes, tournament standard time, 25th episode, the British Isles special. And like I said, having all 4 heads when I eventually get their pictures back online, and like I said, we got. And again, let's just cut straight to the chase because a lot of mans they want to talk about this. So, the London debate. So overall, I'm going to ask, what is the state of the UK FGC? Are things changing for the better? Yeah. So Nick, you wrote a certain controversial blog regarding London being too dominant in the FGC. You wrote an article about how the demise. I mean, well, you called out Pacific organisation Neo-Ember, how the demise of that sort of opened it up for other scenes. Do you still feel that way now?
Well, I don't feel Neo-Empire's made much of an impact outside of Heart of Gaming. I mean, all our scenes outside of London have been doing fine without Neo-Empire, so it wasn't exactly a stab at them. I mean, I got nothing against Neo-Empire. I've been to loads of their events. It was just, I felt like the last SVB was a bit too drastic. You know, why would you rush an event like that? It's such a big event. You know, they needed to kind of build from the ground up again, and I wanted to. I guess it was unfair of me to use that as a negative example, but it just showed, like, look at Hype Spotting and like Proving Grounds and Biz Fighting on all these other events outside London did really well. You got to remember, when I went to Fighters Day, London was it. That was it. There was no scene in Wales for like 7 years after that. So I was kind of looking at it from my perspective, from when I started in fighting games, that it was London. That was it. It was like that for years and years and years until Street Fighter 4 came out. So it was kind of me looking back then and thinking, well, how much has changed now? Now Neo-Empire's gone. So that's why I wrote it, really.
Okay, fair enough. Because I remember you being mad apologetic to me when I bumped into you at, was it Hype Spotting too? Because I did read that article and I didn't personally think you said anything too inflammatory in that. But from what I understand, I don't know if this was true or not, did you apparently get banned from the Heart of Gaming because you wrote that article?
That's what I've heard. I don't know if it's true. It upset a lot of people. with the article. I don't know why. I was just being
How,
honest.
I don't understand how you upset anyone.
So yeah, I don't understand it. But I don't know whether that's true. If that can be confirmed, that'd be nice to know. But
Okay, so you haven't. So no one's actually sent you any official document saying that you are banned or stuff like that. That's just.
no, I was just a rumor going around. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. I would maybe be the first guy banned from Heart of Gaming. That's quite a title, I suppose.
Nah, I'd challenge you on that one, man.
Okay.
I don't know it. I don't think that they should have tied in Heart of Gaming, which is a business, with Neo Empire, which is a non-business venture, and have the two reputations intrinsically tied up. So when Any's rep gets smashed, Hog's rep gets smashed. I think that's a stupid
Yeah, I
idea.
totally agree with that. Like I said, Heart of Gaming is a business at the end of the day. You don't want the bad reputation from New Empire
Absolutely,
affecting
man.
it. You'll lose customers, and at the end of the day, you want customers because you want to make money. And I know there's a personal thing with like a business venture like that, an arcade and stuff. But at the end of the day, you need money to keep it going.
Yeah, man.
But it's like you pointed out. What's up with Ultimate Clash? And they were clashing with Proving Ground states. I mean, what's that all about?
I don't understand it. I give you.
Real Ultimate Catch.
It was a real Ultimate Clash. Some might say it was an injustice. It was just stupid. it was just stupid, man. When I questioned him on it, I said, "Look, these events don't happen that often. Your events seem to happen very regularly. How about you just don't do one that weekend? All you're doing is forcing players to pick one. And people have already prepaid and bought tickets and blah blah blah. Didn't seem to give a fuck. But I mean, what can we say? They've came and said, let's all put it behind us, blah blah blah.
Hello.
That's fair enough. I mean, I respect that they've decided to do that now. But the way he worded it was like, "Oh, it's about time we band together." It's like we've already been banded together.
Yeah.
This is not new
Welcome
for us.
to last year. You know what I mean? Welcome to fucking 2012, son.
You could also say that we've all been banned together.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yo, Brian, your mic's making a mighty windy noise.
1 second.
You might want to mute it while you're not talking.
Yep, will do.
So yeah, I know. I'm glad that they've decided, let's try and work together, bring London into this whole community that we've already built amongst
Let
us.
me just see that. I also find that particularly aggravating. He's saying, let's bring London into the community. James has done a fucking awesome job of bringing London into the community. We already all plan events around each other. For that assumption that he is the mafia fucking don in charge of London, and he will let us know.
Yeah,
It's
that's
cool to
very
let
arrogant.
London. Come on, man. It's very. Yeah, I'm the arrogant one. That's me, by the way. That's why I got banned from the fucking thing.
There are at least 3, maybe 4, 5, probably 4 or 5 individual groups, if not 6, in London. So no one, I don't think, can define their particular scene as the London scene.
I wouldn't even say like versus Scotland in title covers a couple of cities. If we speak to other organisations for Dundee, for Aberdeen, so when people go, let's get all of Scotland down, I'll go, that's cool. I'll speak to the rest of the Scottish guys. I don't go, yes, because I am the man in charge of Scotland, William Wallace, etc. This is bullshit.
You know what annoyed me as well with they were saying that SVB is the flagship tournament of the UK. Who makes that decision? What, they do? How can they make that decision after what happened in the last SVB? I mean, they need to build that rotation again. They can't just claim they're the flagship tournament of the UK, considering how much other quality events we've got in the UK now. I don't know. They kind of seem to be
I'm not going to say a word on that, to be honest. I don't know. I think maybe Mark was under a lot of pressure and he just thought it was 2009 or something. I don't know.
Okay. All right.
Is that a good point to check if my mic is now working?
Very loud.
It's a bit loud. It's a bit loud.
Move it further away from your face.
No, I think he's just a big, massive, loud guy.
I am a big, massive loud guy.
Whoa!
See, look, see, I mean,
He's
he's
a
like,
big, massive loud
he's got
guy.
the microphone
Are
in
you
a
sure?
different room.
Are you sure? Are you sure that microphone doesn't have an Ian Paisley setting?
Might do.
Oh,
Hang on.
Jesus Christ, man, what the fuck?
No, I miss it. I miss old Spitting Image when you always had Ian Paisley on. It was like he was deliberately about 3 or 4 volumes higher than everyone else. It was just hilarious.
Have you got
Hang
like
on,
a
I'll try and
Doctordoom setting on it or something?
I tell you what would, I tell you what would be
shit.
good. I tell you what would be good for Neo Empire, right? Obviously, all I want is more fucking shit to happen throughout the whole of the UK. They just drop SVB, they change its fucking name, so that people won't Google SVB and just see it getting panned, and go, well, I'm not going to go with that. They just change the name. Some things,
I think all those posts are being deleted from the forum.
maybe, yeah.
Okay.
But some things
interesting
it's just
to
better
see.
to just cut, amputate the fucking dead hand. You know?
Personally, if I was them, I would start by doing a couple of small tournaments over the year. And if they go really well and they get a lot of good response, I think, well, people are happy with this now, so let's try SVB. That's what I think they should have done from the start. Just build up small. You don't need to jump back into that, especially if they, after what happened with their negative press, they need to rebuild that confidence in the community by starting small. Because that's how I think anyway.
Well, anyway, let's just try and push this on a bit. So, yeah, the next point, which brings Justin in nicely, and whoa, there is an echo.
Somebody's got the stream unmuted.
If you're on speakers, then mute your microphone. I think Skirmish, I think you've just ruined all the sound on the stream, or at least on Skype.
Whoa, why is it my fault? I mean, oh.
Okay, you're back now.
You fuck with everything, man.
Okay. Now where
I don't think it was Skirmish that ruined the sound in Skype.
I just want to blame Skirmish.
Why?
He's got too many guns on the keyboard. They're pressing the wrong buttons.
I do not have a gun on me. It's like, oh, why do people keep thinking I'm a gun nut? This is.
Last week you pulled out like an MP5 in like 2 seconds.
This is true.
So what you're saying is
But that was in jest.
you do not have a gun on you.
That was in jest.
No, I don't have a gun on
Otherwise, he would have got her a full-on rifle that way.
But anyway.
That was
yeah,
just fucking about gun.
anyway, let's bring Justin on this because again I want to move off this subject because this is more about London instead of just one particular group. So in the current UK FGC split between London and non-London events, is this politics or geography? Yo, Justin, can you explain the recent incident that's just basically happened?
Do you want it in the way where I go ham or the one where I'm like a nice guy?
Well, bruv, it's your word. You can choose however you want to do it, bruv. I don't restrict plans because again, this is
Kitchen nightmares.
Alright, long story short, we announced versus fighting quite a while ago now.
yes, you did. You announced it on my show, funny enough.
Yeah, we announced it on your show. We put the dates out quite a little while before that as well, so quite a few people knew that it was occurring, and we put it at August 10th and 11th because nothing else was there at the time, and it didn't seem like anything was going to be announced, at least for anyone that I knew. So yeah, we announced the event. We started, people started paying up and whatever, and everything was all good. And then I think Thursday or Friday night, whenever it happened. I saw a post on Heart of Gaming saying that SVB had been announced. So I was like, all right, cool. And then I saw it had been announced for their same dates. And I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Surely, that doesn't make sense. So I sent a message over to Firebug, just asking them to get in touch with me. And to be honest, I thought they were just going to ignore it. But Mark came back and I was like, fair play. And he wrote a bunch of shit, which eventually culminated in we're not going to be moving the event. So I kept reading through it and I was like, stuff here just doesn't really add up. And then he asked me to post it publicly on their page, which he could have done for himself if he really wanted to get it out there, but he didn't. So I posted it up with my thoughts on there, which were pretty amicable, in my opinion at least. Following a bunch of people asking why it had been clashed, everything got deleted. And then there were a number of other areas on Facebook where people were discussing it, so I had to put something out there, and then eventually, you probably got the link somewhere, I put something up on my page, on the Electronic Dojo front page, just explaining what the situation was. Again, pretty amicably. I didn't even mention their event on the, at the time. And then things got a bit nasty, and suddenly I was being labelled a hater and a saboteur, which is kind of cool. I thought that was awesome. And yeah, he started calling me out on crazy things. He said I had sent a bunch of trolls to to go and troll his page. But I don't know if anybody else noticed, not a single Birmingham player, not one. Not a single one, everyone knows as Zito and Jinty and Rudy and everybody else. We've got trolls in our community as well, but nobody posted. Until a few days later,
to interrupt, like, you have to take that stuff with a pinch of salt, because when he was before he met me, when he was shitting on my events on the Neo Empire forums, he once said that I sent him a PM saying, "Watch when I see you at SVB."
What?
Which is obviously bullshit. But yeah. So yeah. But sorry, I just wanted to point that out because I think it's relevant to this.
Let's cut to it, Justin. Did you send him a PM?
Yeah, I sent him a PM.
No. Did you send him a PM?
Say that again, sorry.
Did you send him a PM? Because that's the official way that you speak to Hog. You send them PMs.
Okay.
You keep sending them.
Keep sending him PMs. This one guy in that conversation, 13 times he asked me if I'd sent a PM, and I said, I've done everything but sent him a PM. We messaged him on the book, we did it on the Hog page, did it in the Neo Empire page.
Yeah, I sent him a personal message.
Yeah.
I thought, alright, I could post something publicly here, or I could talk directly to somebody privately, out of the way. No one needs to hear about it, and maybe we could sort things out, but no. It ended up the opposite way. And it's funny that you mentioned that as well, Worstgiefever, because James, because I think about 2 years ago, we had another altercation where he started calling out Electronic Dojo and stuff that had nothing to do with us, and just completely trash talking our events. And it kind of came to light that he was actually talking about DNA, who used to run Electronic Dojo a while ago.
I know DNA.
Yeah, before he started to mention anything, so that was a bit crazy. So this would be the second altercation with him, which kind of sucks, but
Yeah, it's weird. Like I met him because I had some tickets for an event which I couldn't go to because I had to stream something in Paris, and I double booked myself. And I put them up for sale on New Empire, and he bought them. So he met me at GamerBase, and then he apologized basically for being a prick and doing all this stuff, which was like months and months, if not over a year, of just shitting on events for no reason they didn't go to and all this kind of stuff. And then basically he said that the reason he behaved like that is because there are two other guys in the community who he thought I was like working with or in cahoots with. It's completely random,
yeah.
but those two particular people I don't talk to at all. I really don't like them at all. But he thought I was like best buddies with them, so he caused all that like pain and havoc purely for that reason. Like it's just so.
It's like you could come back and apologize now, but there was an entire year, I guess, of trashing the event. It's like
it was quite ridiculous, childish, and random.
Full year of someone pissing on your shit.
There we go.
See, when I read all his responses, right? Because I did try and send him a PM, but he'd banned me by this point from his fucking page, so I couldn't send him a PM. But see, when I read through all his responses, there was just countless, like, we were kicked when we were down, the trolls brought down New Empire, and I'm reading it going, do you know what a fucking victim complex is? Everyone's fucking against you. Everyone's trying to fuck you over. And no responsibility himself. None.
We're in this kind of strange situation where there's a bunch of TOs from externally, and obviously, I guess Firebug is like right in the center of attention for everything that was, kind of spoken about. But I really don't. I guess I don't like him very much now because of all that's going on. He called me a liar, and he lied about me, whatever. But I don't really think he's the real culprit.
Okay.
I think Neo Empire has other members of staff.
Shadowy figures.
Yeah, shadowy figures, invisible men. that have done far worse than he has. He's the guy that's come out publicly, and he's the guy that everyone's gonna say, he was in the wrong. But I don't think he did that by himself.
That's what I'm saying.
He's not the best mouthpiece.
He should be detaching himself from representing Neo Empire when it's getting grief like that, because it's going to reflect badly in his business.
True, and I guess
as much as he might be a fucking bell end, his business shouldn't suffer because he's a dick.
This is true.
He's representing an organisation that is now unfavourably looked on by the rest of the communities in the UK.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't want to sit here and trash him personally because of what he did.
Okay. All right.
Let him finish, Skirmish. Let him finish.
Yeah, sure.
No, that's pretty much it. It's just there's other people that probably deserve it more than he does.
Okay. No, it's just a couple of points because again they do need to be addressed before we can move on. And yeah. Just to play devil's advocate, I'm just wondering. Surely this event just could be a coincidence because traditionally SVB is always in August, and they would kind of have assumed that everyone sort of knows that.
Let me pick that up, right? Let me pick that up. I'll give you an example of how fucking stupid this is, right?
Yeah.
I'm standing in a queue in McDonald's, right? I'm 4 in line, and I walk out of the fucking shop. I go into a different place. I do something else for a while. I come back a year later, march up to the 4th in line queue spot, and everybody's cool with that, yeah? Place is fucking rammed, it's really busy. Everyone's looking around like, what the fuck? That's the same thing. They fucked off. Their community went down. They didn't tell anyone. Their excuse for holding it in August was, we called dibs privately on that month. What the fuck are you talking about? You called dibs on a month when you disappeared for a year? Shut the fuck up. Honest to fuck, man.
My view on that, like, I don't really want to get involved because I'm quite enjoying not having to argue with people, although I am still dealing with some bullshit from another group of people. But enough about that. I think that, like, once they saw the event was announced on dates they had planned, regardless of whether a contract was signed or not, they should have let you know. And B, if that doesn't happen, then fair enough. But at least hold your hands up and say, yeah, we messed up, I apologise, rather than make excuses about it afterwards. Like, just, you have to be willing to admit when you're wrong. Like, eat some humble pie sometimes, every now and then. There's like, even if no one's perfect, people mess up. Some people mess up more often than others, but at least admit your mistake and say, sorry, it's too late for us to change it now. We should have paid more attention or something, At least you could amicably apologise for it, or, just...
Pushing it on to Justin, to have Justin explain why they won't change the date was the most ridiculous thing I've ever fucking heard.
Not to go too deep into it again, because I think it was covered to death over the weekend anyway, but number one, if you're running a tournament as large as what you were intending to, and you're in the circles that you're supposed to be in to market it to people, you would know that there are a set of events going on at a specific time, and it wouldn't have taken anything to make private contact. And if you didn't, and you didn't do your due diligence, like, it's expected of any of us as tournament organisers to at least know what the fighting game tournaments are that are going on in that year are. And there are sufficient resources for checking that. You could have went on EU Fighters, or there are a few good places you could check. But then, just looking at everything that he ever posted up, just saying like he fuck it, man. I don't want to go into it. I'll get vexed. But yeah, they should know. And if they didn't know, then it still was handled abysmally. Like, it was terrible. The way that it was handled once the
damage limitation afterwards was bad.
One thing I don't actually understand is if you're going to run a tournament, you want people to come to it. Why would you double book with someone? It just makes no sense.
It's not how you rebuild your reputation, is it? You've got a reputation for being a cunt. So what I'm going to do is when I relaunch my event, I'm going to book it on the same day as another fucking event. Yeah, that'll clear that whole reputation of you guys being unorganised, a mess, whatever. Oh.
If you plan on launching an event and you're going to launch an event, by and large, you will do it with a website that works. You will do it with a post that explains what games are going to be on.
Yeah.
You will do some kind of planning so that people know what to expect. In some regards, especially when you're 2 months away from the damn thing, and it doesn't look like there's been anything planned there whatsoever. There's nothing up right now.
Okay.
And there was nothing up when they announced. There's nothing up today. It's random as hell.
Okay. Anyway, another point, again, just to play devil's advocate. Yeah, doesn't SVB sort of cater to games that you do not have? Would it sort of not be reasonable to allow an event on the same day, for example? For example, yeah, I know of an SC5 player who he's going to go to SVB because obviously you don't have SVB, but at the same time, it's not a good situation for him because you know he has mates that will be going to VF3.
Well, this is the big problem, isn't it?
It's sound. Yeah, I mean, if another tournament is running, if you main SC5 and another tournament is running that and we are not running it, we've got one more game to announce as well, but we'll get to that later. But if we're not running a tournament that you want to play and somebody else is, by all means, I don't hate you at all for going to that event. You got to play your game. But when you're considering yourself a major tournament and you'll be running in, kind of the top titles that everyone's playing right now,
titles,
the Injustice, the Street Fighter 4, the Marvel, the Tekken, then you would probably expect to run into some competition there. It's going to split the amount of players that go, and it's not in the interest of anybody because, frankly, I would have gone to SVB if it was even a week later. But I can't go to. No one's got the choice to go to both events anymore. And it was ridiculous for him to even argue that it gives players choice. No, nobody's got the choice to go to SVB and versus fighting.
That's clearly an excuse rather than admitting, that's what I'm saying. Rather than saying, okay, we messed up. It's like, well, actually, it's fine because, but no, it's not fine at all.
Yeah, it's the opposite of fine. It's not fine. Nobody's happy with it. Nobody's happy with the situation.
Like when I did the events at MCM Expo for the XG qualifiers, it was the same weekend as MBR was doing an event in Holland, and that's a different country, but it's the same group of players that would attend both events. If mine wasn't so short notice, practically everyone who was there would have been over here. But it was an important event for him because, it's laying groundwork for him to do future things. And I said, look, obviously, there's nothing I can do because it's in
MCM. You can't move MCM.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's out of my control, but I'm sorry for the issues it causes. It's not deliberate. It's just I don't have a choice. So, there's ways of handling things properly. But that's all I have to say about that.
Okay.
Yeah, on the question of choice, right? How many large events do we have in the UK FGC, right? What, 5 or 6 a year?
Depends what you
Two of
define
them
as
are on the same fucking weekend? Come on.
It does depend.
Really?
It does depend what you define as a large event, because it did sort of surprise me when you announced Justin, when you announced Versus Fighting as a multi-day event, because that's pretty much the only multi-day event has always just been SVB until obviously the I series arrived and then hype spotting. So. Yeah, so
well, EGL is quite often a multi-day event, not with a dedicated finals day, if that's what you mean. But there's always
that's what I mean. So
okay, fair enough.
So what would you define as a big event? Because we got those a couple of events that granted a lot of people go to them, but they're not what you would say multi-days, and they're catering towards hundreds of peoples and stuff like that.
I would say a big event is any event which has people through the whole of the UK consider travelling to. Okay. That's a big event to me. Like, people go down to Proving Grounds, and that place has, 60 people in it? That's a big event. You've got people from Scotland, Wales, even a couple of Irish boys were there, London, there's guys from all over the place.
Any event with more than 60 players at this point, we are a small scene. I think everybody knows that.
I'd say so,
as far as fighting games go as a whole, like, we're not very big in the first place. So anywhere that's going to get more than 60 and certainly more than 100, any of those are going to be considered major events. Okay. We actually, this is our first 2-day event because we were, well, not even we, I was a pussy. I didn't think we were going to be able to run a 2-day event effectively. So everyone was complaining about it, but we did 1-day events because I knew we could do 1-day events. And I knew they'd be solid, but after Versus Fighting 2 was pretty good. We said, screw it, now we feel like we're ready. But
okay. Yeah, Justin. Last point on my devil's advocate. And where is that echo coming from?
Someone needs to mute.
Okay.
All right, hold on. Tell me if this is better.
Yo, Justin, it's your fault.
Fine. I did ask though. I asked at the start, yeah.
Waste man.
Yes, Birmingham.
I asked at the start if my mic was okay, and I said I could change it. I'm guessing that would probably be slightly better.
Oh my god, what have I done?
Whoa, what have you done?
I accidentally bought really gay Y-fronts.
What?
Oh, we need to see
Oh my
what
god,
happened.
how have I done this?
Show us them.
Show us them.
Show us them. We need to see.
Hold them
Oh
up.
my god.
Oh snap. Oh,
Oh, shit, man.
Oh, exposed.
Jesus.
Oh, it will be exposed.
You're drawn.
No, it won't be exposed. You can go in the bin. I'm not even. Oh my god, that is
Give them speedos.
proper YMCA business. No, it was on a rack. It was on a rack that said boxer shorts, but I didn't look that it says men's briefs on it.
Oh, I've done that before.
It's not for me. I'm sorry.
Anyway, finishing off this point, because again, we don't want to spend too much on it, because it's not... Yeah.
It's a waste of £7, man.
Oh, wow.
Got the receipt? Take them back.
No, I've just been in them. F it.
Gotcha. Anyway,
Give me a charity shop.
I don't wish them upon anyone.
Hey, if we were in Japan, if we were in Japan,
Give
you
it
could
away as
sell
a
them.
prize at
It
DreamHack.
sounds like you got money to throw away, fam.
Just put it out first. There you go,
yo,
son.
guys, there's something... We're on our FGC podcast. Yo, Justin.
Hi.
Just to wrap up, because again, just watch point. I'm just curious. Was there any attempt? I know you said this was afterwards. Was there any attempt by either yourself or them to coordinate a date? Did you sort of, when you were planning it? Because I know we discussed it confidentially, like last year you were planning it. Did you ever reach out? Ask somebody from any if you were running anything in the summer?
Prior to no. I know.
There are resources now where he doesn't have to ask. He can just look.
Yeah, I mean,
Fairness.
it sounds kind of like dumb, but it just makes logic. It makes sense for me to just look at like first come first served. We put out our date. No one contested it within the first kind of month, and we thought, all right, cool, it's gonna be all right then.
But they didn't exist for the longest period. They closed their fucking doors.
Yeah, I mean,
They went, no, we're not doing this shit anymore. Fuck you guys. Right, okay, that's them done. The website's gone, the forum's gone. The only things that made people visit that site, it's done. Nobody.
yeah, I mean, in all fairness, they had the resource, which allowed everyone to know about it, and they took it down. So.
Okay, so nobody from there and even tried to contact you. They said, yo, guys, are you running anything?
No, absolutely not. No. And frankly, like if they had done that, kind of within the first month or two, I would have just cancelled or moved, or at least seriously considered cancelling it or moving it.
Okay.
But
They said in the
too long.
description that they deliberately didn't tell anyone because they didn't want to give their plans away. Now, if they'd have said to Justin, we're thinking about doing it on this date, can you keep a secret? But yeah, no worries.
What exactly have they got to lose? But you can't say you want to cooperate with people and then say you're deliberately not telling people the date. Like that's a complete contradiction.
But naturally, that's because they didn't want to cooperate with people.
Okay.
They do now.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Or is that just something nice to put out there?
We'll find out. We'll find out. You know what I mean? It's not like
We had that moment where he's like, wait, I've got a great idea, guys. Let's work together. Let's have some unity. And I'm like, fuck right, yeah. Everybody else could do that, fucking 3 years ago.
massive epiphany. I've got this fucking brilliant idea.
Okay, fair enough. At least we got that established. So you didn't check, but neither did they. So okay, I just want to establish that.
Just in Justin's defence, right?
Yeah.
Why would you check on a thing that doesn't exist?
Yeah, as far as we were aware, like, it was over. The site's gone down. There's been no,
Everyone in the FGC thought New Empire was done. All my community
Let's
did.
look at what happened after
Yeah.
New Empire went down, right? James started an excellent forum. Loads of smaller communities stepped up their events. The fighting game scene burgeoned as a whole. More people started to come into more events. They became more regular. Weekly things became more common. Streaming kicked off a lot more. It actually became much more of a cohesive thing after Neo Empire left, and I'm not saying they were holding us back by any means. I'm just saying that when they left, it was a kick up the arse.
Yeah,
I
think it
do a
prompted
bit.
people to
Yeah.
put their, because I think people were quite lazy when Neo Empire was around. Not the people who ran it, but the people around it who were like, "Oh, when are you going to run an event?" And it's like, "Why don't you run an event? Why do they have to? Why do they have to do everything?" And now people, when that was taken away, then people are like, "Oh, actually, yeah, let's certain people stepped up, and now you have events all over the place in individual communities." So it has forced people to pull their finger out and not be lazy about things and wait. People have to stop waiting for things to happen and make them happen, which is, I think, what was needed. So I think it was good. More pluses than negatives, definitely.
Okay, fair enough. Anyway, yo, Doom, you still there?
You're so quiet now. You're too quiet, dude.
Yeah.
Now.
Oh, that's better. Yo, Doom.
Okay. Yeah.
Yo, Doom, as somebody that's not part of the UK, what do you make of this perceived split in the UK scene? Do you think, are there any parallels in your scene? Because I do remember speaking to my co-host, Bento, saying how some of the people in Dublin, they don't quite want to leave, they don't want to play any event that's not 10 minutes within the centre of Dublin.
Yeah, it's probably a different situation over here. Like, we don't have... We have our own forum on boards.ie, and most of our work goes through there. But it's true, like there was tournaments running fairly regularly down in Cork, and there was a few in Belfast, and some of us would travel. Like Ireland's not a big country; you can travel to any part of the country within a day and head back. You know, if it's a one-day event, that's not a problem. But there are some people who they just don't want to do that. Like they want all the tournaments in Dublin. Everyone has to travel to Dublin. So, but it's not really a parallel. Like, we're so small that everyone has to work together. We don't have an option of not doing that. Like if there's two events on the same day and people wanted to go to both of them, that would kill both the events. You know, so it would probably be a very unwise move for someone to try and do that. Where the second person to say, "I've got an event too. Everyone come to this," that it would be game over for them immediately. Unless there was some reason that their event was more valid in the community's eyes.
Okay.
So it's a very strange situation coming from my angle. Like.
Okay, gotcha. No, because my Useful Glue appeared on my shows not so long ago, and he's from like Northern Ireland, which is, well, I take it is bloody far away.
Well, it's not really like I've traveled to maybe 30 events in Belfast on a day. And usually I record them as well. Like I bring all my gear with me. It's not that much of a pain if you want to do it. Like it's 2 hours on a train.
Okay, that's perfectly reasonable. But it's
I think it's reasonable to make a trip to Belfast in a day, and plenty of the Belfast Street Fighter players come down here. But there are some people who won't, you know. And the transport system outside the cities can be pretty poor, so it can make it difficult, you know. But like we would consider the Belfast players part of our scene, without question.
They said exactly the same thing, because Useful Glue said he considers his local to just be Dublin, and I just think that's kind of extraordinary, since that's technically another country, and so
I had the bizarre situation where the last event I was at in Belfast, an old fella stopped on the street and asked me for directions, and I said, "Sorry, I'm from Dublin." He went, "Bloody foreigner," and walked off.
What?
Yeah, it's like, as I said, 2 hours away from me. Like, so it is a bizarre situation. We're in different countries, but you know, speaking the same language, same culture, usually friends with each other.
So what you're saying is the FGC is, at least as far as Ireland goes, is considerably more united than
than Ireland,
yeah. That's pretty cool, actually. That's wow, GG's, because again, I just found that extraordinarily when everyone's typing.
Sorry.
Well, again, you might be able to argue that it's from necessity, because there used to be a Belfast scene and there was none in Dublin. When SF4 came out, suddenly 40 or 50 people in Dublin wanted to play Street Fighter, and that became the nexus of the scene on the entire island. Like, it used to be Belfast because that's where the people were, but Dublin is just a bigger place, so that became the hub then. And I think Cork especially has suffered because of it, because they used to have regular tournaments, but gradually the numbers dwindled. To be honest, it's because of emigration as well. A lot of the players just left the country. So we have about 5 or 6 people in Japan at the moment working there. Like, so that really affected the kind of outlying regions in Ireland. Dublin is still going fine. So, but it's become a situation where you travel to Dublin for Street Fighter or any fighting game, or you don't get any at all now. So.
Okay, so, but yeah, just to back up, I think you already confirmed it. But people now in the cities, especially Dublin, they're not going to travel. I believe some of the comments were because I had my guest on last week. Was it Chrome who said that certain players were saying, "Yo, why the hell would I go? Why the hell would I go out for them? Because I'm better than them anyway. They should come to me."
Oh,
the age-old argument that kills the freaking scene.
I have to say, no, I don't think anyone would say that. I don't recall hearing anyone say that, or at least they wouldn't say it to my face.
Apparently, it was said to Chrome. I can't remember the exact name, but again, my co-host Bento said that the people in the big cities they don't want to go to any tournaments that's not 10 minutes outside the centre of Dublin. Which yeah.
Well, it's more difficult to get people to go to stuff that's outside of Dublin, but some people do. It'll be kind of misleading to say that no one from Dublin would do it. But that's pretty normal for Ireland, to be honest. That people want everything in Dublin. It's just the way the transport system works, even, you know. But I've never heard that attitude before. Now I'd like to have words with whoever was saying that.
Okay, after the conversation, I will relay the name. Or you could just watch last week's show, I think.
Okay, I'll do that.
Well, there you go then. So then, James, because this was an earlier point that was tacked on. There is a perceived notion that Londoners don't travel, but like I said, just going.
That notion is outdated and void.
Yeah, how to reach shows up everywhere.
Well, yeah,
that's an old notion. I think that's irrelevant now. They go everywhere.
Yeah.
I think that's completely old.
I think that's done. That's been put to bed, man. Yeah.
Because I was going to say, in defence of London, we definitely had a lot of Londoners. Well, they've gone overseas. You know, they've gone to World Games Cup. They've gone to RFD. You could technically argue they've gone further than most of the other scenes that only just merely travel within the UK. So,
for me, it's not a competition. If people travel in goods, and they do, so that's that.
Okay. Because again, Chrome argued perhaps their priorities were wrong. Should they be going to more home events rather than just traveling overseas? Because for the simple notion, because what Chrome said last week was, you want to know why we're going all the way overseas to play the stronger players. Because again, the whole point.
Yeah, that's the argument.
Yeah,
they should go for the strongest players. That is 100% it.
That's reasonable though. I don't think it's up. I don't think people should have to do. There are no absolutes. Some people can go to more locals. Some people can go to more internationals. It's up to them. There is no. You can't tell people what to do, and I think that's half the problem with this scene is people trying to tell other people what to do. Let them do what they want to do. Just worry about what you're doing.
Yeah, just worry about what you're doing. Let people know what's available.
I mean, would you want people telling you where you want to spend your money and where you want to go? At the end of the day, if you want to go somewhere, you go. You don't let a bunch of people saying it's not right, you should be staying here. Well, I want to go to France, I'm going to France, you know?
I've seen how well that worked out for Microsoft, haven't we?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a lovely debate. That's going to be a lovely debate in the tail end, though. Okay, fair dues, and then that we can scratch that point. And now, now we can talk about tournaments then, and it goes back to the last points. So, should tournament organisers, be coordinated with each other a lot more, so that incidences like what we just mentioned earlier will not happen again? James, apparently you're organising some sort of a hidden thread on EU fighters for that purpose, or something like that.
Yeah, there's a forum on EU fighters for tournament organisers so they can coordinate with each other. And to be honest, it's not. To answer your question about should tournament organisers cooperate more, it's really the extreme minority of TOs that don't cooperate.
Yeah.
And everyone else
does it already.
Pretty much. Like there are some people that I really, really don't like and don't ever want to talk to ever, but they're still on the TO forum. Like I could look past my personal grievances and let them on there for the better, coordination of the whole scene. So I think it's just. I mean, this is. You have to remember, this is one issue like that. Justin has unfortunately been the victim of. It's one time this has happened. Not saying it never happens, but I mean, once doesn't mean. Let's not have like knee-jerk reactions. One incident doesn't mean that there's a pandemic problem, you know. So I think that no, it's they can continue to, you know, do things on their own, or they can cooperate with everybody else, like which happens already. So the choice is theirs. So no, I don't think organisers necessarily need to work together more.
But
I think that I just think that some people can change, or they can be stuck in their ways, and whichever they choose, everyone else will just continue doing their thing together. So,
to be honest, I think we don't have to do anything. It's absolutely fine. I can't remember there being another year where there's been so many, you know, good fighting game events. Last year was amazing.
Yeah, it was actually.
This year was an amazing amount of events.
Yeah,
And
last
all,
year and
you know,
this year didn't clash for, you know, a very good reason. It wasn't a fucking coincidence.
Yeah, it's everybody. Well, most of us seem to know what we're doing. You know, we run good events. We space them out away from everything else that we can, and we do it well. It's never been as good as this.
Okay, sick.
I'm super positive about the scene right now.
Okay.
Even though League of Legends is kind of killing it, but
Yes, it appeared.
I'm looking at you, Nick.
Yes, you've gone turbo on us. You've gone esports.
Hey,
I dropped it. I don't play LoL anymore.
I can't leave Nick out there on his own. I've played like more than 24 hours of Counter-Strike in the last week, so.
I'll allow that. That involves guns. That's good.
Yeah.
Hey, I played Dota. I played Dota
Guns are very
and Heroes
good,
and Newer for like years before LoL. You know, LoL's just kind of a new thing for me because a lot of my friends play it. And Dota 2 is getting a bit stale. It's a bit.
Do you know what? You sound like Littlefinger from Game of Thrones.
Littlefinger.
Yeah. The guy who was in The Wire. Have you not seen it? He's not like a weird guy.
Oh yeah, I know which one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Littlefinger.
You sound a bit like him. Like if you were saying something vindictive, then you'd sound exactly like him. Sorry to kill the conversation.
That's fine.
I just wanted to say that. I really wanted to get that out there.
Oh wow, this brown ale is pretty cool. Yeah, this definitely should be the drink of England.
Is that Newcastle Brown? Yeah.
That's shit.
Good.
It's really bad, man. Wait till you either throw it up or shine it out. It's the worst thing ever.
Really?
Oh yeah.
We would be fine now.
Okay. Keep going.
More bottles.
All right, okay. I'll get the repercussions later then. All right. Since we're still on the subject of tournaments, yeah, a couple of cool points that I've read out ages and just want to get your guys on. Yeah, here's a good example. Yeah, you know, a certain tournament happened last month, UFGT. Yeah, basically, there was a game which some people considered a joke game that was given a prime time slot, whereas a more popular game was given, well, the dead slot, i.e. 9 a.m. While other tournaments, namely the ECT, I've forgotten the ECTS or whatever, it was like were more flexible and they moved Injustice to a more prime time slot. So the question is it a TO's right to basically run a tournament any way he sees fit, or so?
It's his right, but it's not his responsibility.
Yeah, but hold up. Or do players / consumers have a right to dictate their own tournaments? So, James, what do you think of that then?
Players should never dictate anything. They can give an opinion on something, but they should never dictate anything whatsoever. Never. I think a good tournament organizer finds a balance between what's best for the players and what's best for the event, be it financially or whatever. Obviously, Keats has an agenda with Dive Kick because it's a game that he made that's coming out, so you can understand. The only issue I have is that they gave trophies to some games and not other games. And he said, it would have cost us X, Y, Z to do it for this one, which has only X amount of players, but it's either do it for all or do it for none. Otherwise, that's what happens. So I think that's a learning experience. Hopefully he learns from it. Like, if you're going to give people trophies, you give everybody trophies or you give nobody trophies.
Okay.
But, obviously he has an agenda there. He's got to spam Dive Kick like bloody Viagra pills in the 90s. But, it's just one of those things. It's his tournament. There's a tournament in America every week. So, but the thing is, I think the biggest problem there is I mean, I would be pissed as well if like Injustice is a brand new game. It's got a good momentum. And it's on at 9 o'clock in the morning. Again, I don't think there's an absolute, and people can do things differently. Personally, I would have given it a more prime time slot because I don't want to live in a world where only Capcom games are massively successful. I want there to be variation among a larger amount of players rather than Capcom games and in small pockets here and there and then Tekken over there somewhere because they're always kind of separated. So, that's just my preference, but it's not, it's not my tournament. I did speak directly to Keats and ask him various questions because, like, he had, because I was pissed that Injustice was on at 9 a.m. Like, when you had like a mystery game with like an hour slot and then 2 hours of dive kick and stuff, it's like I'm sure you could move it around a bit better. But he's a good TO in the sense that he responded to all my questions and his answers were satisfactory, whether I agreed with them or otherwise. So yeah.
But it goes back to the original question: if it's his tournament, surely he can do what the hell he wants. Affro,
yes, man.
Just curious. Where do you stand on that issue then? Should TOs, i.e., you've got a right to run a tournament, because in theory, if all the players just banded together and they said, "Yo, man, we want you to move this game like that," would you agree with that?
Well, for the hype spot and stuff, we have a calculator based on group sizes that works out how long a game will last. So we schedule it all to whatever time suits us to make sure that the next day there's nothing overhanging, to make sure that the next day it starts in the order that we want it to start on. So for us, it's all schedule based. We already have a schedule, and we put things on how it suits us to make sure that nobody's left waiting, fucking a whole day. That's something that gets pushed back or doesn't get finished. But another thing to take into consideration for UGFT was if they're still running pools and groups at 9 o'clock in the morning on the second day, then that tournament is fucking gigantic. If you think about it. So hype spotting, we ran pools all day during the first day for all games, and then on the second day we did top 32 down. They're running pools again on the second day at 9 o'clock in the fucking morning to compact it down again, and the finals were on the last day. Because that was a 3-day event, wasn't it?
No,
the finals were on the same day. Yeah.
I'm going to have to call you out on this because Keats, the reason why I wanted to go to Keats' UFGT, but I couldn't because, ironically enough, I overspent going to your tournament. Funny enough, but I don't regret it because it was cool. It's because Keats.
Buying too much haggis.
Yeah, maybe that. But it was like UFGT. I think is the only event in America that actually has the tradition of always finishing early. Because if you actually look at the stream, they finished before 9 p.m. It was like 10 minutes before 9. And if you watch the year before that, it was like the same thing.
Yeah, but what we're seeing is the stream schedule. We're not necessarily seeing the tournament schedule. Do we know if there was more games played in the background? Because all we're seeing is what's presented at the front. And if that's dive kick and fucking whatever, then the assumption there is that nobody's doing any Injustice pools or Injustice games in the background. Might not necessarily be the case.
Yeah, funny you should mention that because UFGT came under attack because they only had 4 setups for 178 players, but the exaggeration was, well, all 178 of those players were not going to be there at once. It was actually broken down into those small 16-man pools, so 4 setups was actually quite sufficient because obviously it would only be 16 people at a time on those 4 setups, and then, yeah.
Is that real?
As a TO, I don't know if you guys...
That's how they run, yeah, that's how they run EVO.
No. I don't know about any of you guys, but I don't think I'll be looking to run Injustice on 4 consoles if I had 170 odd players. Like that's...
Yeah, but Justin, in all honesty though, Keith, I'm not trying to suck his dick or something like that. It's like you think about it, with only 4 setups, he ran an event with 178 people on time. We've been to events that have had more than 4 setups and they can barely cope with like 30 people. So I don't know about you, what Keith has done is almost short of witchcraft.
This is true.
Well, right, okay. Just on maths alone, right? I just
want to say something. Like,
yeah.
I heard that there was an event where there were 35 in the UK where there were 35 players registered, and the TO asked for 3 people to drop out so they could run a 32-man bracket.
I know exactly
Okay.
what you're talking about, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Needless to
Anyway,
say,
back to the topic.
I did pull out of that tournament. But going on maths alone, right? So if an average game of an average set of Injustice takes roughly 7.5 minutes, which, given the timing that we've got for it, is what it takes. If you only had 4 tournament stations to play all of those games, at the maximum amount of rounds would take 51 hours. So 4 stations cannot be right, man. And when I was looking at the stream, they had stations up and down both sides, and they had a separate room. So I don't think that information's correct.
I think 4 stations
It is.
a
They
little
did
bit
do it
much.
in 4 stations because there was a
No.
massive blow up on Twitter about it.
Yeah, they only had they did.
Wow.
He did do it in 4. He did do it in 4 stations because if you watch you can't watch the On Blast show. Xavier did actually come on and he did explain that his pools were optimized for only 4 setups, i.e. he didn't need any more setups.
That's right.
I've done a winner stays on. I've done a 42-man winner stays on with 2 setups before.
Yeah.
You got to consider as well. I have 100%. Maybe
finished
half
inside.
of those players are going to get bodied like pretty fast by top players. So that's going to cut down times anyway. I mean, so it's not.
Injustice is a really fast game, actually. When you've got people
yes.
playing it
momentum.
properly, it's a very
You can
fast
just
game.
destroy people. I mean, anyone with momentum, any characters, all the top characters can either rush you down or zone you out. And if you got that skill advantage, you're just going to rush them down. So it's gonna cut off time. So it is possible. Depends how good the Injustice. It depends what their pools are like, I guess.
Was it pools any double limb, or was it double limb?
No, it's American tournaments. It's just straight double elim. There's no pools.
Right, okay, that's completely different then. That
With
Okay.
pools, it would be impossible.
You guys. Yeah, what you guys were assuming there were pools and all that. No.
I was like, how the fuck has he done that? That's like
Yeah.
that's some magical shit he's done.
Okay, yeah, it is just because those big American tournaments they just run straight double elim. So when I go to CEO at the end of this month, I'm going to be 2 games and then I'm going to be out.
But that's much easier then. That's
I'm looking forward to Fighter Mania.
5.7 hours. That's
Yeah,
5.7 hours.
I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there. I'm going to see the Octo Ring. Damn shit. But anyway, So Brian, what do you make of that? Do you have the absolute power? Or if the players pull a rebellion and say, we don't want to wake up at 9 a.m. Can you move us to like 3 p.m. because it's only that crappy Blaze Blue and there's nobody there. So what would you say, bruv?
Well, I think James said it right. They've every right to say what they want, but at the end of the day, they don't have access to the full information. Like they don't know how many people are playing in any other game, or if the tournament organizer is getting pressure from the guys who own the venue to have people out by a time or whatever. So, like at the end of the day, the tournament organizers are just doing whatever they can to make it run as smoothly as possible. I mean, you could argue that Keats was on a vanity trip and whatever, but everything seemed to run okay for him. So, is something wrong? You're looking very.
I'm looking at my tweets, but because I'm so damn short-sighted, I've got to squint. And
He's staring at a really small wasp.
And I'm not going to put my glasses on air. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, I think the vast majority of players don't have access to the full information, so they can criticize. But until you've got that, then you don't really know what the full story is.
We've actually had to move sometimes around at proving rounds, so some people can get a train. And for the finals, and even in some cases we haven't, in some cases we have. We have actually advertised on our tournaments. We finish at 10. So if your train's at 9, it's hard for us if you come from London or wherever and your train's at 9 and our event finishes at 10. It puts a lot of pressure on us really, because we got to think, well, do we switch things around for
There's an argument there though. You advertise what time your tournament finishes.
I remember I think Smexy Mills had to go home.
Yeah, if you think you're in with a chance to get to the final, why are you in a tournament that you know you need to leave?
It's true, yes.
That onus is on you as a player to understand that with everything else happening, an estimated finishing time is what you should definitely work by. And I mean, I'm not saying he did this, but if a player was to turn up, get to the final, I'm a fucking train, I need to leave, and then they whinged about the event, you'd be like, that's not our fault. We fucking told you what time it was going to finish. I'm not saying he did that, but yeah, stuff like that. The onus is absolutely on. It has to be on the player. You're giving them all the information they need. This is
That's
where
true.
it is. This is when it starts. This is when it finishes.
Oh, that's fair enough. And funny you should mention that. Yeah, I was at that event where Six Mexi Mills had to essentially forfeit because he wouldn't, even if he won the tournament, he would then have to spend the money on the hotel and stuff. So yeah, and I had to leave early at that point as well. And funny enough, the same incident happened at Versus Fighting 2, where me and the Marvel lot ended up going at 4 in the morning. 10 of us on a minibus because we missed the last train. So yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, it wasn't your fault. It was, technically I could have bailed out because I already finished with
No, I
KOF.
remember someone coming back, actually.
What?
Sorry,
I think,
excuse
to
your
be
mic's
honest,
not-
that's not the first. I mean, I remember iSeries, some of the Tekken guys missed their train, and they just stayed in the venue because obviously it was open all night. And Southampton Cheech missed his train to play in the finals as well. So it's not. It happens. It's down to the player if they want to make that sacrifice. Like Walter said, if you want to stay and pay whatever, that's up to you. But it should never be thrown on the tournament organizer. It's at their discretion whether they want to move things around.
Okay.
But as far as games go, I mean, we didn't put Third Strike in our first Proving Grounds, but we had so many people asking us, like, get Third Strike there, and we put Third Strike there, and it's been one of our most hypest games, surprisingly. I mean, we had people ask for KOF. We had lots of people ask for KOF. We put KOF on, and over time, people stopped showing up, so we put Third Strike there instead. And we've always had consistent Third Strike presence. Maybe it's because of our scene, but, at the end of the day, your game scene in these tournaments sometimes are the decision whether this game runs or not. You can be the life and death of your entire game in that area if you don't commit to it, which goes back to people traveling and whatnot, I guess.
Okay then. All right. Moving on to the next point. Still on the topic of timekeeping. Keats was going back to UFGT. Keats was essentially vilified because he tried to DQ Chris G for being 3 minutes late by not checking in 15 minutes before his match. But he was already at the event and he was not required to play the game. So, do you think TO should still just be a little flexible, or should they just follow their own rules to the letter?
I think that they should be black and white, and they should follow their rules by the letter. Otherwise, you create an issue where, like, if you look at the UK scene, right? You could see I'm quite like a militant and aggressive tournament organizer with things like that. A lot more than the others. And I think that, like, if you look at tournaments run by some other people in London, people will turn up late.
Yeah,
and not even bother to tell them, because they know it's going to run late. They know that they'll be allowed in to play anyway. So they literally don't care. And then that there's, like, on top of all that, like, the leniency offered, and they say, oh, we run late because of the players. No, you run late because you're a crap organizer. Like, people know that I don't give a damn about disqualifying players. Now, for those of you who watched MCM Expo, I disqualified
a lot of people
from the tournament. But one issue with disqualifications of players is because it's almost a taboo subject. There's a lot of like, pressure on the tournament organizer in that kind of situation, and I think personally that I caved in that pressure, and which is why I undisqualified him. And I think that he should have remained disqualified. But for loads of reasons I won't go into, I thought on this occasion it might be better to allow the game to be played. But it's not. I think with things like that, you have to be consistent, and it's not about that occasion or whatever. You need to be consistent through and through. So there are people bitching about me undisqualifying him on Twitter, and I can't argue with those people. I think undisqualifying him was a mistake, and he should have remained disqualified. But anyway, I do think it is difficult. It's kind of like if you see like when a referee gives a penalty in a match, and you've got 5 players around him like shouting in his face. It kind of feels like that. It's really an uncomfortable position. But I think that where you initially make those decisions, they will have the biggest impact. But over time, when you demonstrate consistency, then people will accept
people
that
will
this is the
force
way
you
of,
to make that. Yeah.
yeah, they will accept it that these are the facts, and that's the way it goes. Like Andreas was arguing with me at the time, but afterwards he said that I was right, and he apologized and said that he should have remained. He even agreed with me that he should have remained disqualified.
How late was he by the way?
Well, it's not about late. It's about basically he turned up and he didn't have a pass to get in. He didn't buy one in advance like any normal, sensible person would do. He turned up, so I gave him my pass. Well, I got another pass to get him in through the staff entrance, which I had to give back to the person whose pass it belonged to. So he knew that he couldn't leave because he wouldn't be allowed to get back in. He left anyway, and David had to use his Capcom pass to get him back in. Then he disappeared again about 5 minutes later. But it's not about going away. It's about not telling anyone, not telling Yusuf, not telling me that he's going away, just disappearing. So it's like, it's time for your match. Where is he? Nobody knows. So I asked Ryan and Femi, and they were calling him, and he said he'd be here in 1 minute. About 5 minutes later, he still wasn't here. So I said, that's a wrap. So, yeah. I mean, like, I'm sort of Daddy said, I'm just going away, blah, blah, blah. White Black said, if we know that they're going, then we can tell them, yeah, it's fine, or you're about to play, then we can manage the situation. But if you just disappear, then you'll get disqualified. But that's a mistake I hope I won't make again, basically. You should be consistent, and it's not about being lenient. Being lenient means you run a crap tournament, and you end up running late, bloody-blah. So if you're consistent with your decisions and you can firmly stand behind them, then you'll run a good tournament.
Okay.
I think you've got to question any TO who blames the players for his tournament being late. That's a bullshit setup, man. We DQ'd one of the Glasgow guys at Hype Spotting 2.
I know, it was my match.
It was your match, yeah.
Yeah, Big Fall. And I think it was like 5 or 10 minutes, because you were trying to call him, and I was like, I don't mind waiting, but
yeah, we said 5
call.
minutes, and then it was 5 minutes, and we were like, yeah, you're out. And he walked in the door like 2 minutes later, and I was like, yeah, tough shit.
But that's good, that's how it needs to be.
That's the way it needs to be. That's exactly it. So next time, no one should, in theory, put us in that position again. And that's their fault, it's not ours. We set a rule.
They know you will do it. That's the thing.
Exactly.
You have to enforce it so they know that it will happen. Because it brings everybody else in line straight away.
At last year's World Game Cup, I was left an hour and 45 minutes waiting for a game of Street Fighter X.
Whoa! What the hell?
Yeah. I was sitting there. It was the pre-release tournament. So loads of people just signed up. It was free. Loads of people just signed up to never play. And I was sitting there. I was actually dying from a flu as well. And I was just sitting there on the machine for an hour and 45 minutes. And the guy who was running the setup, Kurmatengo had a few problems with the people at that tournament. So it wasn't like that this year. But he was there like, just another 5 minutes, just another 5 minutes. But you don't go. So I was being punished effectively.
Hostage, because, man. Holy shit, yeah.
Yeah, and it was a new game, and I got to play it a bit, and that was cool. But after about 30 or 40 minutes, I was like, I don't want to play in the next match at this point.
Yeah,
I don't know what just happened, sorry.
If you be firm and fair, you can't go wrong. You might upset a few people at the time, but in the long run, you'll get more respect because you stick within the rules you create. You don't. Because if you say to one guy, you're not DQ'd, and you say to another guy, you are DQ'd, you create, that's favoritism, or it could just be you decide them. But if you're inconsistent, it'll throw people off, and you just need to be consistent and be firm with your decisions.
Okay, cool.
Whether it's Daigo or whether it's a nobody, I guess. You just need to be consistent.
All right. Before we move on to the penultimate point, before the other popular question and answers, though I've got 3 lined up, waiting and ready. Yo, Justin, are you gonna be running VF3 with an iron hand then?
Yes. Though I don't say it all that confidently. I will try it.
That was a bit of a hesitation.
Yeah. It's just in slight disagreement with what everybody else has said. I know what it's like. I know what it's like to, through no necessary error of our own, to arrive at a tournament late, or to, for whatever reason, not be available. Where possible, provided it doesn't affect the rest of the tournament, I'm adept enough with a double elimination bracket or whatever to be able to see, oh wait, there are 2 matches that I can play until this guy's here. But at the second that it's going to start affecting the tournament time, you get 2 minutes and then that's it. And we've DQ'd people before, like it's nothing new. And you know, we'll put them into losers first. We won't get them straight out of the tournament. But yeah, I mean, I know what it's like to have issues as well. And so if someone can keep me posted, and I can put it into the time flow, I guess. It doesn't mean that I need to run an automatic DQ.
Okay.
So I guess it's slightly different, but
You know, I'd say exactly the same. I'd say, like, you would go, okay, let's look at them. I think I did that to Nick. I said, we'll try and get a couple of games on before you.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
we said that was cool.
yeah.
But then it came to the point where we couldn't progress without Big Fool playing, and I was like, right, he's got like 5 minutes.
yeah,
Right, that
I
was
mean,
it.
it's like if you're about to start running a bracket, there's probably like eight matches that you can play right off the bat. And if the first 2 people aren't there, that doesn't mean a DQ. That means I've got another 6 matches to play, and if the guy's not there by that point, then yeah.
Yeah, of course, you be flexible where you can like that. But when it's about
Yeah,
it's about
but-
when it's holding up the tournament is what I'm talking to.
Yeah, at the
about, sorry.
second that it starts to affect the tournament, you gotta put your rules in place, and you have to be firm with it, because otherwise it will run late, and it'll screw everyone over.
I think some people will say they'd have a problem, but what you've got to appreciate is you're doing it on the behalf of every other player who doesn't
Yeah.
want to have to wait. So you're balancing the feelings of one person versus a scenario like James having fucking 10 guys standing around you on the opposite side going, I really want to get my fucking games played. What's holding it up? Oh, well, this one guy, he's fucked off for some chicken. He's not going to be back for... Which was what
Yeah.
Dave did. That's exactly what he did. He's not going to be back for 20 minutes. Can you wait 20 minutes? I shouldn't have to. Oh, okay.
And conversely as well, you try to give as much information as you can, whether the bracket's on challenge or through announcements or whatever. If you feel like somebody has got half an hour before their next game, you send them away then instead. You don't wait. You don't keep yourself silent until until it's their match.
We said that all the time.
We try to do what we can as well. Now's a good time to have a break. If you've just been locked out of losers, now's a good time. Piss off, like. But be back at this time because that's when your matches will be played. So you try and keep the pace on both sides as well. It's not just about DQing people. It's about prevention. It's about making sure people don't get to the point where they're gonna get DQ'd because they knew that they needed to be back.
Okay, sick. Well, anyway then, this is the final question before we get to the Q&As, and yeah, I'm just wondering, does anybody here believe that we will ever be able to create another large-scale event such as the SVB of Hull? Because apparently SVB in 2010, when Daigo was there, had about 800 people. So I don't know. I still think it was more 600 to 700. That's just me, because I've been to events that have had like 1,200 and 600 people. It didn't really ever feel like 800 to me. Though admittedly, I never arrived on the Friday where apparently it was that packed. But yeah, do you think we could ever have large events like that again?
Yes.
I don't see why not, man. See, between all the TOs in the UK, we're fucking... How much experience have we got, man? How many stations can we pull together?
I think with collaboration, absolutely no issue. A few of us by ourselves, probably, if we wanted to. And if we, legitimately put the effort in and we had the money for it. But yeah, there's nothing to stop that whatsoever. I know. Well, yeah.
Yeah, there was a second part which I forgot to mention, and would this definitely require reaching out to the European communities? Because I think, because a lot of some of my European guests, like Bublin from Sweden, the SVB in 2011 left a pretty bitter taste in his mouth. So yeah, and
we've got to. This is gonna sound fucked up, but like us as tournament organisers now have to put in the work to make sure that the next time someone international comes over, no matter which event it is, it's freaking sick. And I guess 25th anniversary helped that. But yeah, it did leave a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, and until the next hype fighting or the next versus fighting or the next EGL or whatever, until the next big event is so smooth and so solid and so well attended that the few European or international heads did show up and loved it. We're not going to be able to do a huge event. It relies on somebody, you're putting together something that worked and having the attendees from it to rate it, I guess.
Yo, Brian, did you ever come over to like the previous SVBs and that?
I haven't been over to an SVB, but I know plenty of people who have. It just by coincidence always fell on a bad day for me. I do know that the 2011 one, that left a few of our lads with a bad taste in their mouth, like just ending up playing after half 12 or something like that. And Marvel, like Arrow, he's probably the most well-known internationally of the Irish players because he has a big YouTube channel. He got a very bad taste in his mouth. But alternatively, hype spotting, the lads who went to that came back great. And Ramza bet Ryan Hart. He thinks he's the best fella in the world.
Yeah, that was too sick, man. That was sick.
It was, wasn't it? That was amazing. Like, I was sitting with a few of the lads here, and we were all cheering so hard during that. So we've had all the different experiences, and I'm always thinking I'll head over later in the year. So, but like the most travel I do is I usually go to the World Game Cup every year, and as I said, Belfast, other than that, is about as far as I go. But like, if there was a larger scale event in England now, I'd certainly try to get over, and I'd certainly try and get as many people from Ireland to support it as much as possible. Especially as I think really, at this point, if the Irish scene is to grow, we've really got to start integrating with the UK scene, I think. There's no real other way for us to start moving further than we are at this point. So I'd certainly be pushing that if the opportunity arose.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
No, because I still have fond memories, even though looking back now, SVB in 2010 wasn't really actually that great an event. I mean, but that was like my first time ever at a proper FGC event. I mean, I've been to like events before, when they were like, well, way back in the arcades, and yeah, I didn't actually understand things like being in groups or playing in sets and stuff. So
at the end of the day, like, it doesn't matter how bad the event is sometimes. I had good memories of all the SVBs I went to because I got to meet everybody, and the social aspect is always achieved as long as you can get the amount of people in. So I always came back from SVB thinking, I had a really good time and I'm glad I went. Even if I was thinking, other things about the way it was run or whatever. You always come back with the positivity when you got an event with everybody there.
Well, no, fair dues, because we could look upon the negativities, but at the same time, thinking about 2010, you had, the pre-release build of Marvel. That was pretty cool because it was like, wow, what, Marvel was like back after that 9 years. And, you had Daigo, which you kind of think that's not every day, is it? And at the time, because I didn't even know who the hell he was. You had PR Balrog, but obviously I didn't know who the hell he was. So, and yeah, it was. Yeah, so what would it take for us to sort of run another super event again? Would it be big players overseas? Would it be the names of the people running it? So what would it take? Brian, what would it take for all the Irish people to go to the UK then?
I think Brian's actually died. No, he's alive again.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, man.
I just missed that last piece of...
Yeah, I'm just saying. So what would it take for the Irish to come in full force to the UK? Would it be top players? Would it just be the people running the event? Would it be, what would the factors be? Or would it just be, no, this is a large event, we're going to have 1,000 people?
I think a bit of column A, bit of column B. I think larger players certainly would help, especially ones that people wouldn't get to see every day, from outside of Europe. Because especially with so many tournaments being run all over Europe now, if someone wants to go to Red Flight District, they just go to Red Flight District. So that would certainly encourage them a bit, I think. Just a large number of people as well to play, because the biggest tournament most of my lads have ever played in has 60 or 70 people, or 80. So I think for some of them, the chance to play in a large-scale tournament would be really, really good for them. I also think just a bit of coordination on our side would be very helpful to get people to go, because often there's a lot. I'm sure yourselves. There's a lot of people going, oh yeah, I'll go to a tournament.
Yeah,
and the closer
for sure.
and closer and closer you get to the tournament, there's only actually 2 or 3 people saying, yeah, I've booked my flights. Yeah, I've
Yeah,
So,
I hate that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that actually would be part of it as well. Just a bit more cooperation on our side from a few people would certainly help. But I definitely think it would be something that people over here would be interested in, because you know yourself with the way money is at the moment, and not everyone can fly over to Evo, not everyone can even fly over to France, but certainly everyone can pay a 15 quid to Ryanair to hop over to England,
Okay, let's discuss this. So if we were to have a massive tournament, we would need at least a year's notice, so that way we could get, the world the world to us because, as any sort of sensible man knows, you got to book your holidays. And, at certain workplaces like my bastards, they want you to book, they want you to be psychic. They want you to know what your event's going to be way in advance. So obviously it would have to be announced 7 months in advance, and we would have to have top players. Does the venue really matter? I mean, now looking back now, the SVB, the gym hall, it was still a decent event, despite the fact that it was a beat-up gym hall. But
yeah, it has nothing around it though. There's no other place to hang out afterwards, so yes, it does matter.
Yeah, definitely. Plus, you don't want it to look like it's in a fucking dungeon.
I mean, that's
How
the
many
best thing.
pictures
That's
did
the
you
best
see?
thing
It was
about.
just like no lights, 25 guys crowded around a screen.
The best thing about World Game Cup is not actually the event, but it's the fact that the hotels are cheap, which you can't replicate in London, but that's another story. And the fact that they're all together, everyone is all in the same area together, so they can all, like, one of the most fun things at World Game Cup is walking around the hotel halls, just listening for buttons. You hear buttons, you knock on the door, and you go in the door, and you're hanging out with random people. That's one of the best things about World Game Cup. It's so awesome. So if you're in the middle of nowhere, then it's an issue. So yeah, the venue is,
Yeah, it's also a status thing as well. You can't say this is going to be the premier event in the UK and you put it on in a fucking gym hall. You know what I mean? Because we're investing in this. It's going to be in an air-conditioned place, bright, well lit, plenty of room for setups. Local amenities nearby, shops, restaurants, whatever. You have to ramp up the whole thing. I don't want to be absolutely dismissive of SVB. It was a good event, but for like the biggest national event we'd do would have to be in a nice venue. Fucking gone are the days of putting them on in places that is easy for the organisers to get to. If that makes sense.
Yeah, we're it's a product. A tournament's a product now. It's not just a bunch of guys meeting in the local school gym to put on a tournament. It's a product. We got a show. We can get these big events, get these sponsors, and get this money going through. Because I guess it's esports at the end of the day. That's where it's going. That's what people expect.
Yeah.
In fairness to Neo Empire, they booked the normal hall they use in the Harrow a year in advance, but the people who run it double booked a wedding on the same day, which is why they ended up being in the sports hall, because obviously it was a major event and they couldn't just cancel it, so they gave them the sports hall in lieu of messing up the double booking. So
Wait, they did that every single year? For 3 years?
I don't know about every single year, but that year they booked it the day after the previous year because it's cheaper.
Okay.
But I was just thinking about because I know that when we were doing our smaller events like 50, 60 folk, and we were finding like a pub, it was in the fucking nightmare. Whereas if you do it in a place like a hotel, they provide shit like tables and chairs. They take out a whole aspect of the facilities that you would need to bother with, and it takes a bit of pressure off you. Plus, it's a hotel. You can whinge like fuck if something's not right.
Okay.
The thing is, you don't really have. Like, I've looked at more than 50 venues for large events. Like, I have a list. Or I've looked at loads of venues. I looked at one hall. It was bigger than the one that you used, but it had concertina walls, so you could chop it into 3. But that was like, I think it was £12,000 a day.
Whoa! Whoa!
Yeah. Man.
Actually, that's a good point. Yeah,
I
sorry.
said this before.
Yeah.
I don't think that. I think that's why you can't use London.
Yeah. That is top end though. That is top end. I was just wanted to know, just so I knew. That is top end. So obviously there are cheaper ones, but the thing is, it was difficult to even find a hall of reasonable size, like attached to a hotel that wasn't a top end hotel, like proper top end, like Hilton or Dorchester or something.
Okay. Actually, that's a good point. Before we move on to the question and answers, that you bring it up. Let's bring some numbers. So exactly how much does it cost to rent out these halls? Because again, there's a misconception that all you TOs, you're actually making money off this.
Yeah, I'm in it. I'm all about the cash, fam. That's why I'm here.
Clever job, man. That's it.
Okay, so James. So, how much would it typically cost to rent out a nice big space if you're running an event and stuff like that?
Okay, well, firstly, there's nothing wrong with people putting on events making money, since they're the ones taking the risk. Not that I make money at doing events, I don't. But as an example, if you remember the launch event that a bunch of us did for Super Street Fighter 4. We did a launch event. I found a venue on the same road as casino because the idea was after the event people will all go to casino. It was in the Dominion Theatre in the rehearsal room there. I think it was 1,000 square feet, 1,200 square feet, and it was it cost £600 for the allotted time we had. But we ran over by 2 hours, and that was an extra £150 an hour, so it ended up costing £900.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa! What? £900. So, oh wow!
And I know venues in Paris are about €1,000 a day, as well. Like where Bushido Impact used to be held, not where the last one was, but where it used to be held for years. That one was about €1,000 a day.
Whoa, okay. So, all right, gotcha then. So that's where most of the door fees are going then. And when you book a hall, do you get the electricity? Are there any extras that you have to pay for? Because I know in America sometimes they charge if you want to use wall sockets.
You get charged for almost everything. If you have, it depends on the type of place. If you're, I don't know about hotels. It probably is the same actually. I don't know about hotels. It's the same. Like if you say in most places, they have like trestle tables, which is like just big long tables, and if you hire those are normally an additional cost. If you use the PA system, then that's an additional cost. If you use the projector, additional cost, and so on. Every electronic device has a cost to use. I mean, wall plugs don't have a cost to use, and also you have to get all your stuff pat tested. So we had to spend like about around £100 getting all the console screens, all my equipment, all pat tested.
Whoa!
As well, so that was on top of the venue cost.
Darn. Okay, Walter, you got some economical numbers to throw at us, so that way we can silence the haters that apparently you guys are making five-figure sums and that you're doing it for the money.
So first off, any money we make, we buy stuff for our regular session venues. That's why we've got 10 monitors and 10 Xboxes. We buy all our fucking games. Capcom and other companies stopped sending us games. So what the fuck do? You go and you buy them. So all the streaming equipment, all the monitors we have, all the Xboxes, that's all bought from HypeSpot and stuff. We also have to cover all your staff costs. You shouldn't have guys helping you out on the day that have to fork out coming from all over Scotland, so we cover all that as well. But for the venue that we use, it was £1,000 a day, but I managed to talk them down to a 50% discount.
Whoa! That's a mad convincing. That's like £500 a day? What the fuck? Damn!
I'm pretty fucking good.
Whoa!
So I talked them down at £500 a day. Should be £1,000 a day. And that initially they weren't going to give us the full size of the hall.
What the?
For that.
Damn!
I mean, it was quite an easy sell for me. I talked about portfolio diversity and the rising esports culture and all that sort of shit. So they were like, "Oh, that sounds fucking brilliant." Not knowing what the fuck they were signing up for. And then they turn up and it's a sausage party and there's guys going, "Yeah!" just screaming like fuck. They're like, "What is this?" But yeah, they actually really like it now. So yeah, I mean, we were lucky, but I did try maybe 40, same as James, 40, 50 places before that until we settled on one. And the deal breaker was almost that it didn't have internet access. Because you have so many things to consider, just like James said. You have all your electricity points. Because if you think about it, right, we had 20 Xboxes. An Xbox draws 1.1 amp. A monitor draws an amp. That's 2.1 amps per setup. You got a set of speakers, that's 0.4 amps. So 2.5 amps per setup, 20 of them. Right? Most hotels run a domestic ring, which is 16 amps. You're fucked.
Whoa,
you could drop the power on that place, right? So we had to come to special arrangements with the power and all that sort of shit. Tables and chairs covered by the hotel. I got that free as part of the discussion.
Whoa!
Internet access wasn't there. I mean, part of the bargaining tool was what they didn't have for me. You don't have internet access. That's a deal breaker. Blah blah blah. And then I let them work to try and recoup the potential business. But yeah, so we spent £1,000 straight off the bat. We buy trophies, we buy lanyards, we have to pay for our website hosting. There's loads and loads of ancillary shit that we need to pay for. So we don't make any money, man. Nobody makes a single fucking cent. We couldn't. even if we wanted to, we couldn't buy the punters scran. You know, like the guys doing the work. We couldn't buy them food.
Wow.
It's not. We don't have enough cash to do that. We make enough money to. We buy. We already have it set out what we're going to get. So we know that Aberdeen needs this, Edinburgh needs this, Glasgow needs this. That's what the money's going towards. Every single event we'll do that. We'll just keep making sure that those small local scenes get more and more kit. We don't fucking spend it on ourselves.
Okay,
That's
gotcha.
not the goal, man.
All right then. Yo, Doom. So, are these numbers sounding about right, or are they a lot cheaper in the Emerald Isles?
Well, we're kind of. I think I told you about this before. Like we skimp on everything, but like we have a venue that holds our equipment that we give 20 or 30 quid a month, and they just take a little bit off the door, and that's it. But that's because it's an art space. It's not designed to be having tournaments or big events really. But things like that, or like if we need a website, I have a friend's server, he lets me put it on that. We've loads of little workarounds for all kinds of stuff like that. We do have another. We've a venue that's actually, funnily enough, it's owned by Bono. We have a venue that.
Whoa! YouTube himself.
Fuck.
Yeah, really.
No way. That's
Yeah.
too. What the fuck?
The Clarence Hotel it is, and they seem to like us, and they give us maybe we can get about 6 to 9 hours for about €300 for a nice hotel room. So when we're feeling up class, that's where we use. But we never have really a tournament on the scale that you guys are talking about. Like, the maximum we'd have maybe 16, 17, 18 setups at a really big tournament for us. So. But it's something we're working on, getting other places and bigger places and better places. But working from the base of the exchange, which effectively costs us nothing, is a great way to do it, I think. But you're reliant on finding an art space that will go, esports, and adopt you, to do that.
Oh, gotcha. All right, Justin. Are these numbers intimidating you? Bring it out, man. What is VS3 costing you, bruv?
VS3 is actually run at a venue that I work at, so I get attendance rate. So usually, I think the room that we'll be using is about £1,000. But for us, it's going to be about £1,000 for the weekend. So I would say, about 50% discount, I guess. For the consoles and all the equipment that we've got, same way as Walter said, everything came from what we made off Versus Fighting 1, Versus Fighting 2. And I get to borrow some of the equipment from where I work as well, which is freaking awesome. Because they've got a bunch of PS3s and stuff as well. On top of that, we have to pay absolutely nothing for internet connection. And our internet connection is sick. Yeah, but that's because my company has to pay for it, and I just, I grab what I can when I can see it. So we get the internet patched down from the top offices into where we are. So we'll always have a really good upload and download speed, which is sick. And then outside of that, the copies of the games and everything else is mostly just put together by myself and Stephen, SBD. And we just buy whatever out of our own pockets, and we just run it.
I heard about this. Just because of the complaints about VF2 last year, apparently you brought some sets of 360s to accommodate the Capcom players this year. Is that true?
I'm still in two minds about it, but yeah, I mean, as far as the tournament goes, yeah, we've announced it. Street Fighter 4 and Marvel would both be ran on 360s. I've got quite a few of them and access to more if I need them. It sucks when it comes to thinking about DLC and stuff like that, but luckily it's kind of stabilized now. We can buy copies of, A's at like £12 per disc. Marvel's slightly more expensive. And we've announced Injustice will be on PS3, and it will, but I'm sitting here playing it now and it's starting to lag on my PS3, which is pissing me off. So now I'm thinking, do we need to, in a longer term period of time, are we going to have to think about doing everything on 360 now? But I hate it. I like running things on PS3. It makes a lot more sense to me. People tend to run into less problems when they are running it. The only problem is that they notably and obviously lag, and everyone knows it. But yeah, to accommodate to the masses, yeah, we'll be running things on 360 this time. And it sucks, and it was hella expensive. But, it's for the good of the community. So yeah.
Okay. Okay, fair.
But,
Okay,
yeah,
fair.
expenses wise, we've looked at venues that were everything like right up to £4,000 a day.
What? 4,000? What the hell?
£4,000 a day. And some of them were freaking sick as well. But it just didn't work out. And that was just about getting as close to town centre as possible, but not being in Digbeth, which was where we ran the first versus fighting for about £400. So it kind of goes both ways. If you want a good venue, it tends to cost. But luckily for me, because of where I work right now, and hopefully I can keep that up, I do have access to a better venue than I guess most of you guys do like right now in terms of cost and whatever else.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. We're mad lucky right now.
Yeah, for those that haven't been to the public, was it that venue? It is literally so clean. It's like the floor is, yeah, it is just so clean, and it's James's favorite color, green, for whatever weird reason. I'm not even quite sure about that, about why it's green, but it is just really exceptionally clean. It's just, yeah, I know I can't actually describe how literally it is literally clean. You could literally eat off that floor, even though you shouldn't.
I can give some spoilers as well. Like I don't know, like I don't want to let anybody down, but it looks like we'll be running all the finals in a theatre this year as well.
Whoa, okay.
That'd be sick if I can pull it off. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at. And again, yeah, sick download speed, loads of seating, whatever.
And you had that excellent bar that sold those £2.80 pints. Yeah, I was loving it. I was thinking, damn, fighting game venues and a pint couldn't get much better.
Yeah, so we do what we can. Yeah, we're hella lucky in some regards. But again, like at our weeklies and shit, it's the complete opposite. So if anyone that's come to Dojo in the last 3 years, they would be quite a lot less impressed. We've ran tournaments outside and whatever else because we just don't have the space. But yeah, so it's poverty on one hand, and then we're pretty decent when it comes to the major. So.
Okay, fair enough. Nick, to round it off, are these numbers scaring the hell out of you, or?
Our venue costs 120 quid for the day, which is pretty damn good. I think Dan even managed to convince them to do it for. I think they wanted about 150. I think Dan managed to get it down to about 120.
Well, I'm surprised he didn't get them to agree on £1 because, well, yeah.
So
I mean,
and they gave us.
Oh yeah, sorry, go on.
They gave us the bartender stuff for free as well. We could use a projector for free. Anything that was in the room we could use. They even put the aircon on for us when it worked when we wanted it. They were pretty good. I think they were happy to get some business, to be honest, because Newport. I don't know if any of you guys that walked through Newport, if you've been there, it is a ghost town. It's like dead. There's just closed shops everywhere. It's like there's no business there. Everything's basically we're a dying city. So I think the venue was happy that someone was hiring out the venue regularly. So that's what I think. That's what I think we got for the price we got it. And to be honest, I feel like, especially Proving Grounds 4 or 5. I think we kind of outgrew the venue with the size, with the amount of people we were getting, because it's quite hot in there. When you get 60, 70 people in there, it's boiling hot in there. Even the aircon and opening the door was like not enough sometimes. But any money we make, we got the entry fee, which goes towards our expenses, because we had to go back and forth Bristol to get setups every time because we didn't have enough setups. And then that money then would go to hotel rooms at like the Dragons and Unequaled Media when they decided to come help us, which was great.
Oh, so you paid for your streamers? That's mighty That is actually mighty decent, because I know they do that in America, but
well, they offered to go back on their own like once or twice, but at the end of it, we were just like, look, this money needs to be used for something. We'd rather you be able to stay night and have to worry about leaving at 12 a.m. to arrive back in London at 3 a.m. that sort of thing. I think that was the last one we did. So if we were going to continue doing Proving Grounds, that would be something I'd like us to continue doing. We tried to get like some extra things, like presentation-wise. We picked up an extra Xbox. But a lot of our gear is lent from the community, from SMBF, from guys from Bristol, from guys from Newport, Cardiff. You know, at the start, people just brought us setups. Like, we had people from our community just showing up, here's a setup, do something with it. We were like, oh, okay, and we check setup over there, and another guy would show up, oh, here's another setup, and so Proving Grounds from the start wouldn't have happened without the community, and it was done for the community as well. You know, we never imagined it would grow to the extent it did. It was mainly for SMBF, so it was, you know, I was happy that, you know, all you guys from Scotland came, you guys from London, like, you know, thank you for coming to the event. It means a lot to us as a community to see you come to our events and, you know, to be noticed in a way.
No, it was a mad event, and the other cool thing is because it was in a hotel, the rooms were mad cheap. I think the complaint was if you held the event on a Saturday, more people would have stayed over.
Yeah, we had like work commitments and stuff like that, so Sunday was pretty much the only option for us. And like I said, Newport's a dying city, so I think you probably haggle anything in Newport these days, just because of like it's just so bad there right now. But the venue itself is so convenient. You get off the train, you walk across the road to there.
Yeah, it is literally. It's like because that happened when it was I think it was myself, Smexy's, and it was you, James, isn't it? We were rushing to get the last train. It was literally just a walk across the street.
Yeah, 1 or 2 times. I think I missed the train once, and I had to. It wasn't the last train, but I had to pay like 40 quid to get home after that. But because it's on a Sunday, I can't really come. I can't come because I'll always have to leave early to get back to London. So it's a shame because I really enjoyed the event. I really liked it when I was there. But
well, we were in talks about a 2-day event, and I found a venue. It's actually a church just off the motorway, and it's got a hotel. Yeah, it's a church. It is the sickest church ever. It has like the main hall is about 10 times the size of Hype Spot, and it has a streaming booth built in already. There's a streaming booth there. They stream like all the ceremonies.
God. Sick.
Yo, no, Nick, do you know what you need to do? Yeah, if you ever hold that church again, you just get to get a giant projector. You get some special effects.
All that.
No. What you want to do is with that giant church, you want to get some special effects, and you want to get Games Master on there, and you want to get a man playing that organ. That would be sick.
They have a stage with a whole lighting rig. Like so, they got a stream booth. The stream booth is massive as well. They got all their own cameras and stuff like that. It's just an incredible. It's like I was so surprised. Like it's just such an incredible and right venue, and right next to it is a hotel. Like literally a minute away, and you come off the M4 onto it. It was like perfect. But you know, as things have gone, it was a pretty awesome venue. Like maybe look into the future if we ever decide to do something again.
No, that definitely does. That definitely does that kind of thing. Like that church, and again, you got to get Games Master. And I guess I'm the only one old. I guess I'm the only old git that actually remembers Games Master when the first season was actually held in a church, and you had the.
What are you talking about, man? I'm older than you. I'm fairly sure.
Classified, but anyway, yeah.
I'm up there as well. I was there. I was back in those days.
Yeah.
I remember those as well.
Dominic Diamond used to go to a pub. I used to drink in Glasgow.
So
not gonna lie, man, I did take a wee swatch at his golden joystick.
Okay. Well, anyway, because Walter is dying to shoot some people virtually on a certain game, we can now move to the ever popular questions and answers. And let's get this out of the way. And let's have that stage event I discussed yesterday. What do all you TOs think about the Xbox One in regard to the FGC?
Shit.
Fuck it, it's dead. Yeah.
Yeah, it's done.
As far as running major tournaments on it, I don't see it happening right now unless they announce some pretty serious changes.
I know they've shot themselves in the foot so many times with this now. They just seem to keep giving worse response. Oh, we've done this wrong. Oh, here's an even worse reason. You know, and they just keep throwing them out there. I know. No, we have the answer. Just play on 360. It's fine.
So
yeah, they did say that, didn't they?
It's not going to be available in Japan, right? It's not going to be available in Japan. You can make the fucking Witcher in Poland, but you can't play it on the fucking console because they're not going to be selling it there. They're only selling it in 21 countries. But today, and I every single day, I like jump onto Facebook and Twitter. There's another thing of just like, we are dicks from Microsoft. Today, one of the Microsoft communications guys said that there's fuck all wrong with the console. It's the consumers who don't understand how good it is.
there's an immense cockiness coming off them, like they think people are just going to buy it anyway, like we don't have another option, which I don't understand at all. Because
It's like that with the mindset they have no competition. And PS4 is just shat all over them, and now they're still like, well, PS4 won't.
See, the only thing that's cocky about it is Sony dropped a massive golden dick on them. That's it. I said this yesterday, man. What they should be concentrating on is struggling to get out from under its shadow. What do you know what's more disappointing? The fact that this is the next generation of games consoles, and we are fucking celebrating that one of them is a games console. Like, people are genuinely elated. Holy fuck, we can play games on one of them. You're like, we should really fucking do it on both. It shouldn't be a fucking issue.
I was making that point. Like, I mean, Microsoft might have already won what they wanted to win in the fact that people were applauding the fact that we get the right to own a game and to play it wherever we like. Like, we should just be taking that for granted on a console at home. But now that mindset has changed, and maybe that's what they were after anyway, to appease the publishers.
But then,
there are about a million different ways they could have done that a bit better. All they have to do is say, it's like Steam say, it's like Steam now. Sorry, this is what it's going to be. You're already used to it. You already know you have an internet connection, and they could have done it another way.
The two main perpetrators of this DRM online pass stuff, right, are EA and Ubisoft. They've both came forward and said, by the way, we had no fucking input on this mad Microsoft shit they're talking about. None. This is Microsoft enforcing their requirements. Like, because they're not going to do it on the PSD. EA said that the online pass negatively impacted their game sales, and that was it. They just scrapped it.
Did anyone see the most godlike how this PS4's campaign? This is how you share games. You give it to the next.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. That is arguably probably the best campaign ever orchestrated by a large corporation ever.
This is it. PS4 now decided, well, we can ride this train now. They fucked themselves up. We might as well play on it. It's going to make us look better.
That's exactly
Why not?
it. Yeah. You know what you could have done for E3? You could have walked out and went, no DRM, play it offline, doesn't need to check in, trade as many games as you want, 349 quid, dropped the microphone, walked off like a fucking boss, and everyone would have went ape shit, man. That was a 6-minute fucking presentation.
There was a podcast with Giant Bomb where one of the guys in charge of the PlayStation, he didn't 100% guarantee it, but he said it would be very likely that all PS3 compatible peripherals outside of DualShock will probably work with the PS4, and I think for us that's
I'm thinking
that's a huge thing.
Game, set, and match. None of the TOs then. Okay, none of the TOs. If theoretically, more Killer Instinct becomes big, would you guys run it?
No.
No.
I wouldn't personally.
If Killer Instinct became big, I would get myself one or maybe two Xbox Ones and run it as a capped 16-man double limb bracket. And that's about the most I could do.
But that's 800 quid to keep 16 guys happy.
Wow, yeah, that is.
Yeah, but I'm probably going to buy an Xbox One somewhere along the line just for myself, just to have it. And I might get another one at some point, who knows, like...
Okay.
It
James.
wouldn't be a good decision, though.
Gotcha. Yo, James, could you think of any possible, conceivable way of doing it?
Work it out if it comes to that. I'm too busy to speculate on such things. But to be honest, in short, I would say that I think it would be better from a tournament organisation, for a general point of view, A, if PS3 is backwards compatible with peripherals, and B, if all fighting games are just on one console, full stop. Just makes life easier for everyone.
Yeah, that dual modding crap is... whatever. Anyway, to the next point. There's been this recent revolution in free-to-play fighting games. Do anybody here thinks it's a good or a bad thing? Because from a casual point of view, that's pretty cool. Because it's like you don't want to play the story mode, which I've skipped over, and you're only going to invest your time in one character. But from a possible TO perspective, it's like, are there going to be full versions of the games, or are you going to be forced to sort of buy all the characters, which would actually make it more expensive than if it was just a whole game? So, what do you guys think then about this free-to-play model?
This is Riot's doing, really. I mean, League of Legends has blown up so big. I mean, look how much money Riot make. They make millions and millions from people buying a new character for 10 quid every month. You
10
know,
quid? What the hell?
Yeah.
well, yeah,
It's pretty much it. Yeah.
So you can, free to play. It's not free to play. It's almost pay to play. For us, we'd have to buy every character. I mean, if you wanted to run a League of Legends tournament with every character, your account would even need to have every character, or you'd need to supply accounts with all these characters. But that's not so much the case with League. But so with fighting games now, if you wanted to run this tournament, you'd need each console to have every character. So they might not release a full version. I mean, at the end of the day, you're only going to do this, from my point of view, you're only going to do this this marketing campaign for this if you plan to make money. You're not doing it so people can run tournaments. At the end of the day, Tekken Revolution, would you run that, or would you run Tekken Tag 2?
Double Heat.
I mean, would you run Tekken Tag 2? Or something like that? Over Tekken Revolution? I mean, that has all the characters, that has everything already. So...
Okay, but I'm just curious from a tournament, from a TO's point of view, if you were, because again, old school games, in the past, all you had to do was just buy copies of the game, the community can loan it out to you, but now all of a sudden, you're faced with a situation where, everybody, if it's free to play, obviously it's a downloaded game, some people might not have complete sets of characters. Yeah, this could be a big problem, could it not?
It creates a problem from a gamer's point of view as well, because if you're a player and you just play, Glacius in Killer Instinct, and you haven't bought any other characters, you're not going to get, you might not get the necessary knowledge unless you buy all these characters, to go in the lab with them and stuff like that. So you'll have to invest more into this game to get better in some cases, unless you get the opportunity to play it elsewhere. So that creates another that creates a problem from a player's perspective in a tournament setting, in my opinion.
Okay.
I think there's some opportunities to it as well.
Gotcha.
It might bring some new players into the scene that weren't gonna, give a fighting game a try previously.
Yeah, gotcha.
But as far as running a tournament, not unless it's massively improved on the old version. Okay. A really good fighting game overall, and we can't afford not to run it. It would have to be really widely adopted before we could even think about it.
Okay, for sure. Well, anyway, unfortunately, James has to leave because he's going to stream a certain small event called DreamHack. But before he goes, I just want to answer, your input in this answer that Obake sent in a while back. If I can find it on the Twitter sphere. Oh, here we go. Yes, I get to use my tweet cam at last. Yeah. How to deal with people losing interest in the FGC and the difficulty of getting new players. So, James, before you go off, how would you answer that?
I think I don't know that there's an absolute answer. I think there's it depends on why people are leaving your particular scenes, and I don't even know how to answer that question, to be honest with you. I mean, I think visibility is good. Like before I was streaming When It Stays On, for example, you'd get a mix of maybe 12 people, 8 people turn up, but with the stream, people are aware of it. Like the various channels my media goes out on, they find out about things and come down, and we had a thriving scene because of that, so a thriving weekly scene. So I suppose visibility would be one. I mean, if it's just the same people playing the same game and the same friends all the time, then I can see how it would get tired. But if there's, if they're playing various games, or there are different people in the scene to play, etc., then it might be better. And if it's like if you are, say, doing weeklies, then it might be better doing monthlies. If weeklies is too regular and people get bored.
Okay.
So it's all I can add, really, but you got to look at the problems and then see what solutions there are to those problems. So it's all kind of, it's not just one size fits all.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So there's no universal solutions then, but anyway, just thanks for that answer, and I Yeah, I take it you'll be off then because, like I said, you've got something very important to do, and like I said, DreamHack is
Yeah, I've been packing down here. I've got a massive suitcase, which I think is actually too big, and I have to sleep because I have to get a taxi at 5 o'clock in the morning, as my flight's at 7:30. So, yeah, I need to go.
Okay.
But thanks for having me on, and nice to chat with you guys.
No, for real. It's been, again, I'm mad grateful because pulling all 4 corners of the UK at once, again, I didn't think I'd pull it off in 1 week. I thought, I wouldn't have done this show if literally one of you pulled out because I needed representation. But anyway, before I send you off, Walter, so what's your response to that then?
What can you do, man? It's like James said, people leave for other reasons. All you can do is fucking put on good events, make things regular, have loads of guys available to play stuff, stream what you can, capture what you can't. Yeah. I don't know if you're under any real obligation to keep people. I mean, people will just fall in and fall out of the game scene. It's like any other game, you know. Some people get a job, some people go to uni. You won't see them for ages. There's not a lot you can do about it. All you can do is keep doing what you're doing. that's really it.
Okay, so if anyone knows the answer, please let us know because I think that's yeah.
Me and Rob, Love Machine, if he's on the chat, we're discussing something today actually, and I think branching out to the online warriors a little bit might help because if we've been talking about maybe kind of because although I don't play competitively anymore, I still want to be involved. I still write articles for Dig and stuff like that. So I've been thinking about running an online tournament to try and get people, kind of some of the unknown players from online to play in like an organised event, and maybe that might be a way to get people to come to offline events. It's branching out to the online players and trying to get them through maybe online tournaments, maybe giving them qualifying points to offline tournaments. You know, little things like that might bring some more players. But as for new players, like Walter says, we're not really any obligation to bring new players. I think that's more down to developers than us.
Okay. Yeah, sorry to cut in, but yeah, like I said, James has to, like I said, jet off to, is it Switzerland or?
Sweden.
Wow. Okay, Sweden. Okay.
You bellend.
Oh, what have I done to earn your disrespect? But anyway, again, thanks a lot, James, and thank you, Walter.
No worries.
Okay, and we'll finish off the last of these Q&As before, like I said, we'll shut down the stream. Anyway, the last 2 points that were handed to me was, apparently, according to Hubble, where's the love player base for Injustice? Sick game, but nobody brought it or tried to give a chance. So,
well, I'm playing it.
I'm playing the fuck out of it.
I mean, I love the game. I think it's really solid. It feels much smoother than Mortal Kombat, and it's got DC characters. I love DC, so get to play Green Lantern, like my favorite DC character. So, what's there to moan about it? It's a good game. It's really solid.
Yo, Brian, how's it doing in Ireland? Because I know you recently did a tournament for it and stuff. So what?
Yeah. We did a tournament for a couple of weeks ago, and that seemed to attract some new people. And we've got one on this Saturday in the Exchange, and it seems to be bringing in a few new people as well. I'm not playing it much myself, but that's just because I'm busy. Like I played it a little bit when it came out. I really liked it, so I'll probably play it a bit more too. But it seems to be going so well so far, and I'm quite happy with it actually. In the absence of anything new from Capcom, it's certainly keeping buoyancy in the scene, you know. So I'm supporting it and very happy to. I'll probably take as many videos as possible of it.
Gotcha. Do you have any numbers from the Emerald Isles then? Because the last couple of turnouts for our Injustice events, they were pretty outstanding. Well, one particular event, the ones run by Coliseum Games, we had about 24 people last time. Some of the weekly ones in London's not so. They certainly weren't 24 people. So what kind of numbers will we hit?
Well, the first one would have been around 20, 24, 25, which for a random tournament is fine. Like it'll be the next two where I don't really think that's a good indication though, because it was kind of a sudden tournament in the middle of nowhere. So over the next 2 or 3, that'll be much better to judge by. But if we can consistently keep it in 24 and 25 and add that to our pool of players, I'm more than happy with that.
Okay, sick. All right.
Although I think I'm like one of like maybe 2 or 3 people who are playing it in SMBF. I mean, everyone kind of sticks to Third Strike. I mean, even Marvel, I think, is dying now in the SMBF because we've lost a few players like to moving away and stuff like that. So, yeah, I like it. The netcode's not too bad as well. So I like to play online. It's just easy access.
Okay, gotcha. All right, guys. Any other questions before we close the stream up? Because yeah, we covered everything. I mean, for some of you that arrived late, we already discussed the issues regarding SVV VF. So if you want to check the archives after we're done. So guys, you got any questions to add before we close it up? But what was the other one I had written down then? What was it? Free to play, blah blah blah. Yuckity schmackity. Oh damn. Okay, stream monsters, you're gonna hit me because we're out of topics. Why is everyone always commenting on our preference on beefsteak? Everyone knows by now mine is medium.
Beefsteak?
Yeah, there are these random questions. How do we like our beefsteaks? What's our favourite animal? Although I only just recently worked out what's that reference to. Skirmish, how do I rate Justin? I think Justin is like the Jabali of the FGC. Man is
bad.
What do you mean that's not a bad thing? One, you've got
no, that's sick guy.
No, yeah, you've got a shaven head. One, you're mad bombastic, and your event's kind of quirky. So yeah, that's how I rate Justin.
Well, thank you.
Oh, here's a good one. From Fight Fighters. How would you promote events to the UK FGC?
Just go through all the channels, I guess. Join all the Facebook groups like Manchester Battle Arena, This is Scotland, SMBF, UK Fighting Games. I join all these like groups and just post through there. Twitter, the usual social media channels. I think that's what I was trying to like put across in my dig article. That like New Empire was the gateway to people seeing our tournaments and hearing about our events. So when that disappeared, we had to find other ways. And I think social media is better because it's much more broader than just being like maybe what James said, being a bit lazy with Neo Empire. We can, use Facebook, Twitter, whatever, Twitch, your Twitch channel. If they're the best way to get your events get attention for your events. And knowing other tournament organisers is good, I think, as well, because they can promote your events at their tournaments.
Funny you should mention that about the promoting thing. It's become bloody harder because people, they're not using forums anymore now. It's like this Facebook thing is, because it's even a common complaint amongst the Americans that it's created this, what we would call a walled garden state where people are only posting within their relevant interests. So if you play Third Strike, it's no longer going to be posted up on the central forum where everyone would know about it. Instead, it's on that particular Facebook page, and as anyone knows, just the traffic from just one Facebook group alone. So when if you want to know what's going on throughout the whole UK, you're going to be following how many Facebook groups? That's kind of that's overload, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you don't really need to join all of them, but as a player, perhaps. But I think it's a TO. It helps you. It's not necessary.
I think what we really need is event hubs. It just seems to always let you know what's coming up next. I don't know if EU Fighters is probably the best place to do it. But just to have a list of events that are coming up on a website somewhere.
UK FGC.
Yeah, UK FGC is pretty good. Yeah, it's doing a pretty good job so far, I would say. Because again, there's tons of information that I've only just discovered from just that site. Because again,
That's a good point, actually. Yeah.
So yeah,
it's not quite to the level of event hubs yet, but maybe
I think what I want is a list though. I want just
a calendar.
Just a calendar. I mean, there aren't all that many events, and yet someone will come over to me every now and then and say, "You're Justin, you're coming to Barcade tomorrow," and I'll be like, "I can't come tomorrow, but if I had known a little bit earlier, then yeah, I'd have totally been there." But it's, where am I meant to find it if I'm not in 5 different Facebook groups, or more importantly, if I don't use Facebook? Because strangely, there's still all those people that don't use them, that don't have a Facebook account, or aren't in it like that.
Okay, cool.
And definitely for like a new player that has no idea that they're even, that these things even exist. How do you even find it on Facebook?
That's it. That's the
You
hard
type it
thing.
into Google, if anything. But the last thing you do is you don't look for something that you don't know is there.
Gotcha.
I didn't know I wanted to play the fighting games until part of luck.
I find I snag a lot of people off YouTube. Like we about 1,600 videos or something on YouTube.
No,
And
that's
I get a lot.
that's a good place.
Yeah, if you have your videos tagged correctly, like mine, all my videos are like Irish, Ireland, Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, whatever. So someone goes to Google, and of course the search engines are linked, and they go Irish Street Fighter, and then they see videos with commentary, and this is what they're looking for and what they want. So then they'll contact me, and like I've got a good few people through that. I think that's a very important thing to have media going up nearly all the time if you can,
Well, I remember Brian King posted something on Event Hubs about UK tournaments. I can't remember what it was, and there were comments in there saying, "Oh, there's no tournaments in Wales." I was just like, "What?"
Yeah.
I decided to Event Hubs just to tell them that there are tournaments in Wales, So yeah, it's tough. Like I said, I don't know. There's no like definitive answer to that question. You kind of got to take the initiative and just do what you can.
Okay. Yeah. Before I deal with laughing Wiz, Brian, wasn't there talk that you guys were going to be running some big Irish event in August?
That's the hope now. I'm not. Well, I guess I am technically involved in the running of it, but I'm not the TO of that or anything. So, but I know the guy who is very well, and he's still looking at avenues. We have a great difficulty in Ireland getting sponsorship or even interest from outside the country, and I don't think the nature of gaming in Ireland has reached the point yet where our local companies, by and large, are very interested. Although that is changing, so we face kind of an extra difficulty in putting on large events like that.
Yeah.
So we're go on.
Yeah. Given how massively crowded August now appears, because literally you have the choice of VF3, SVB. Then a week later,
Exactly.
if you play Tekken, is there a Tekken community? There's a big Tekken event happening in London again, and then towards the end of August you have the I-49 series. So
we were considering pushing it back to September anyway.
Okay, gotcha.
So we certainly don't want to get to be clashing with anyone,
How very enlightened. Okay, let's deal with this question since I've been called out and this is the people stream. Justin, how the hell do you like your steak?
I'm black, which means I like it well done. However, I've been reaching out. Like, I've been trying to get it rarer and rarer and rarer each time, and it's actually it's a lot better that way. I don't think it's meant to be tasted there.
And it may contain parasites. Okay, GG's. Nick, how do you like your steak done?
Medium, I guess. I don't know. I
Yes,
really love steak.
enlightened. Medium is the best way to go. It is the moderate path. It is neither well done or rare.
It's the easy option, isn't it? It's the passive option.
Gotcha. Yo, Doom, how do you like your steak?
Medium.
There you
You're
go.
above.
There you go, laughing Wiz. Do not call me out. I have answered the people stream question. Now, any more guys before we shut this up? Because, like I said, we've covered everything. We've discovered the Xbox One isn't very good for FGC tournaments. And well,
one thing I'm quite curious about is fighting games directions with PC. I mean, they've done Street Fighter 4. They've got Mortal Kombat coming out.
No. The only thing that could fix the PC situation is swapping out sticks, unless, of course, you expect everyone to stick with just the one stick.
AE is best played. Street Fighter 4 is best played on PC.
Yeah, PC version Street Fighter 4 is so solid.
Yeah, but
It's so much better. So much better.
Online.
It's playable.
Online, but I can tell you fact, when the twins were running the Unequal Media event, the headache they were running with people plugging their sticks in, and if you think
I can see the problem of a local event, like an offline event, but The thing
Yeah.
is, I think another way for our community to evolve is to branch out online, because online is where everyone plays, and like people are saying in chat, like they'll watch Twitch and they'll go, "Oh, there's nothing in Germany," and then someone will say, "What are you talking about? There's loads of events," and that guy probably just plays online. So trying to get access to the online player, I think that's where we'll find a lot of players, because finding new players is not really our responsibility, and it's hard, I think. So we need to find players who exist, and they exist online. I mean, so many other games in the world do amazing online. Why can't fighting games? I know netcode's an issue with some games, but the games that do work, like Street Fighter 4 is very good. Like Soul Calibur is really good. I don't know if anyone plays anymore, but I think that's another way for us to evolve.
So you would propose the model that, well, I hate to say it, esports have proposed that we even start considering doing online tournaments.
And that's the direction I'm thinking of going personally, because I have like an amazing internet connection, which I don't really use to its extent.
Yes, you have an amazing internet connection, but a lot of other people might not.
No, as a streamer, like I don't really use it, and I would like to do something like this. And so this is what I'm thinking now. I'm going to try and push this. I'll tell you my idea now. My idea is to do something a bit like League does, called a Challenger Series, where up-and-coming players who don't particularly, maybe not play like brilliantly in tournaments like Problem X and Reinhardt, not those type of players who are up-and-coming, to play in these tournaments online with something on the line, maybe some money, maybe some prizes. Just, get their names out there. So hopefully that can be like a kind of like a gateway for these players to progress, and hopefully it'll bring other players from the online community to want to get involved in it.
Okay.
So that's kind of my idea I've got now. But whether it kicks off or not, I don't know. It's still in the works.
The problem is, because, well, to be blunt, we're in the business of offline gaming. If we encourage more online play, surely they won't come out. Brian, would you legitimately accept online tournaments as being legit?
Well, define legit. Like,
well,
if people want to play online, like, I mean, it's like, as I said, we run our own forum. You get a lot of people who come on, and people dismiss them automatically because they're online players, and you kind of say, well, who gets to define how someone enjoys a game? If someone wants to play in an online tournament, let them, and they might eventually come out to play in the offline environment. But like, I don't see encouraging people to enjoy the game that we all want to play can ever be a bad thing, really.
That's exactly what Brian said. I'm not trying to force people. Online's the way forward. I'm not saying that. I'm saying online is an avenue we should explore to expand in our scene. Maybe even if 10 people out of 100 online players start going to more events, that's 10 more for our community. That's worth the effort.
Yeah, true. Yeah, definitely true. Say, but
I have one name which you might remember. British Justice. Do you remember that name?
Yeah, that sounds familiar. Yeah.
Online player comes onto New Empire saying, "I'm a good online player." Everyone laughed at him. He turned up to this vanilla the tournament in London, and he did really well. And everyone was so surprised, like, "Oh my God, he's an online player. He's done so well, But he got bashed really hard at the start for being an online player. So maybe, I'm just saying, maybe online is an avenue we could explore to expand our player base. I think it might help.
We haven't had an arcade in Ireland with Street Fighter or anything like that since 1998. Like, I mean, our entire scene technically comes from online play. I mean, we do meet up all the time and play now, but the formation of it was through online play. So, like, I can't really slag online players without literally just my entire scene, including me. I did play in the arcades when they were there, but like, the scene as it stands now was formed completely out of online play. So, like, I mean, it has to be legitimate as a source.
We can't force people to leave the house to come play with us, but we can influence them through playing with us if they're not willing. The only way to get them out of the house, without them coming willingly, is to give them something that may want them to leave the house. So if you host a tournament and say, for example, this is not official, I said, this tournament, if you win this tournament, you get seeding points for hype spotting, and they might think, oh, that's cool. You know, I get an advantage at the major event as an online player. You know, it's just little things like that that might bring more people out of the woodwork. But you know, it's something I personally want to pursue. Now, you know, Proving Grounds is gone. I still have this kind of urge to host something. So if I can do it from my house, you know, great. So this is something I'm going to try. It's something me and Rob, Super Ted, or Love Machine now, are gonna put something into works now. So I'll get a stream going, get on Twitch, get some like a league going, and try, instead of inviting like Reinhardt and Problem X, nothing against them guys, but people who are up and comers who want to prove themselves in the community, give them a bit of spotlight online, and see if they can take that practice, take what they learned from that tournament to an offline scene and get some more spotlight there. That's what I want to do. I want to help the little guy, I guess.
Street Fighter, right? Though no other get. Well, obviously that's the. Well, yeah, isn't Street Fighter Cross Tekken also on the PC as well?
It is. I would run on Xbox. I'm not saying I would run it on PC, but that's the idea of the tournament. I mean, we're getting, you know, that's my idea of the online tournament. I'd probably do Street Fighter 4. Injustice is not so bad online on Xbox. I'd probably run Injustice. It's whatever's got the best netcode, really. I can't really run KOF. There's no point running KOF.
And it's not on the PC.
As you all know.
Well, technically it's not on the PC, but there are ways. But anyway, but that's neither here nor there.
I definitely run on Xbox. I'd run these tournaments on Xbox, but I think PC. There's a big PC scene, like Street Fighter scene on PC. Whether they play both or not, I don't know. But you know, maybe there's something to appeal to. If we're talking about expanding the scene, and we've just had two of the biggest tournament organisers in the UK say, we don't really know. I mean, what's the harm in? You know,
so you're gonna do something they're not gonna try. Okay, I like this. I like it already. I like your confidence.
But they don't need to. They have what they have right now, which is great. They don't need to try anymore. You know, Proving Grounds is gone for us now for whatever reason, for our own personal reasons. This thing I want to try personally. So, you know, that's what I'm going to try and do. Other people's, there are probably online tournaments of Street Fighter already, but you know, I have a bit of an integration with the UK scene now, so hopefully I can, you know, get some of these up and coming players a bit more spotlight. Like, there are some awesome players. Like one player, Pro Fluke. Pro Fluke is such an entertaining player to watch. You know, I'd love him on my tournament.
Yo, Justin. Yeah, like I say, I think you'll probably close this out. So, do you think we could legitimately accept online play? Because again, think about it. People complain about PS3 lag, which again, I own a PS3, so I don't know. I just deal with it. And so now we have So now again, depending upon if we're doing it on consoles or PCs, because and again, what online? Because So Nick, you're going to run these online tournaments either on the PC or the Xboxes, because again, that could also be difficult.
Well, I have PC and I have Xbox. I have a HD PVR as well, so I can do either. I'll probably start on Xbox because it's more common, but I don't know. It's kind of just ideas at the moment.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I want to do. If I don't get any interest, I won't do it. I'm not doing it for myself. I'm doing it for, I'm trying to expand the community. You know, like I'm not really gonna be competing much in fighting games now. I'm more interested in, just expanding a community that I've been a part of for so many years, and writing for Dig and stuff. So I just want to take kind of a, I guess more of a TO
okay, fair
role
enough.
now.
But going back to fair enough. But going back to Justin again, online tournaments. I mean, do you personally think you would accept the result of an online tournament, even if factors like lag spikes, because they happen. That's just how the internet works and stuff like that. Because it happened. We've all played online, haven't we? And it's like you're bodying someone. It happened to me when I was playing Blaze Blue. I was, man, I'm gonna finally land my bloody 48 hit combo, and yes, there is a bloody lag spike on the very bloody last hit, and then the guy gets out and he bodies me.
I think over a season of online tournaments, you can find the consistent players. But overall, I don't think, at least in England, that people have good enough internet connections yet to make it something as a mainstay. I started to play fighting games offline because I can't do it online. It drives me crazy. I just can't. I hold sessions at my place. I run the dojo nights as frequently as I do because I want to get as far the hell away from online as possible. But at the same time, I absolutely accept that it brings a new set of people in that won't come offline for now.
Okay.
So it's still important.
I'd want to
And
do
it's
it
good
as
to
a
hear that you're
league.
thinking about doing it.
Yeah, I'd want to do it as a league, not as a, all right, this day I'm running an online tournament, double LM, blah, 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 winner takes all. That's not what I'd like to do a league, 'cause like I said, with leagues you find consistency, where maybe lag might be an issue, you know.
Yeah, but lag will at least be an issue a bunch of times in a row, and it shouldn't hit the same person at the same combo spot. So yeah, I mean, in the league, I think absolutely, you can find something. You can find some viability in it.
Lag switch. Yeah. Anyway, actually, speaking of lag, yo, Brian, how's the internet in Ireland for if an idea was to be sort of implemented there?
Hugely variable.
Okay, yeah.
like where I am, I've got a 100 meg UPC. It's grand, perfect. I can
Wow, that's more than I have. Damn.
Yeah, I can
just
play
got
Street
bumped
Fighter and stream at the same time. Like, so
Yeah, I just got bumped up to 220 the other day,
Yeah.
so...
yeah.
What the
So
hell
in
are
my-
you going to do with that internet? Bloody hell.
Exactly, this is why I'm all about these tournaments, you know, streaming these tournaments, because what am I going to do with this internet? I got 30 meg up sometimes, you know, it's just like...
Oh, I would kill for that. Damn.
He's serious.
But there's
Yeah, I
people like the way the Irish government rolls out the licenses for broadband based on population densities, right? So it's always the same places that get the good internet. You know, Dublin, Cork, Galway, the population hubs, and then anyone outside of these areas gets shafted for 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
So it just depends where people live. You're going to have people with great internet, people with absolutely terrible internet. You can't really say you can't play because you're showing red bar when you join back.
That is my concern, because again, not everybody has decent internet, and some games have better netcode than others. It certainly is an injustice, and it'll be like, I can't even imagine how. And you know, even some games they don't even have lobbies like Skullgirls, and that's got like one of the best onlines. Although it doesn't work for me for whatever bizarre reason, I'm not quite sure why.
But that's it, I would only run games which are known to have good netcodes. I wouldn't run stuff like KOF or Marvel, because there's no point. And a lot of the player bases online for these games are for the games with good netcodes. I mean, I used to dabble in Marvel Online just for fun, and I wouldn't find people on player matches ever. I'd get the odd French guy which was stable, but that was it. So, you know, I'd only look into like Street Fighter 4, possibly Injustice. I mean, Street Fighter 4 is going to be the main one, I think, because it's pretty consistent most of the time, I find, in my personal experience, for online. And let's be honest, a lot of players train online these days. PR Balrog trains online. I've watched his stream, you know, so it's not like online's not an option. So that's the way I'm thinking it. You know, if anyone in stream is interested in this sort of thing, you know, keep an eye on like Facebook and stuff on the UK Fighting Game channel, because I'll be posting any more details. I am thinking about running Third Strike. Don't worry.
Is the online for that actually legit?
Yeah, Third Strike's not too bad from my experience.
Oh, okay, I might have a go at that. That sounds kind of sick. Yeah, I want to dust off my Oro and Alex. Well, actually, no, just Oro, since Alex kind of arse. Damn.
I mean, SMVF plays a lot of Third Strike online anyway, because I always see him when I go on. So, yeah, so that's what I want to do. I just want to kind of bring something to do when we're not at offline events. You know, that's a good way to train tournaments. Put people in it. You need to be able to play in that tournament mindset online as well, if you decide to train online. So what better way than to enter a tournament? There might be something on the line. So you will play to that mindset, because it's so easy to fall into autopilot when you play online. Autopilot is...
No, that's... Yeah, because you can definitely say there are... Yeah, it's become the insult. These are online players. You can tell by
autopilot.
Their tactics or
That's
even their...
skirmish. I apologize. I got to depart now.
Okay, gotcha, man. Yeah. Actually, before you go, this is just one point, because this is my only concern about online play. It just does not compete to an offline tournament, you know, because, you know, people watch streams because they want to see They want to see, yeah, they want to see the player camp. They want to see the salt. They want to see the.
Yeah, you want to see the atmosphere,
And it's
That's it.
and you want to see the meaning as well. But I definitely think it won't replace it in that regard.
But this is what this is why I'm saying online tournaments for up and coming players, to give them the spotlight they wouldn't get at these offline tournaments. You know what I mean? There's no point asking Ryan or Zach or whoever they come into this body everyone is there. That you want competition to grow for these tournaments. That's the idea. I'm not trying to steal the spotlight of offline tournaments. That's not my intention.
No, I like it. I think it totally makes sense.
It's just another option to net new players and to giving players something else they can perhaps participate in and work towards. That's just the idea.
Okay, fair enough. Well, anyway, we've exhausted all our options, and this is the end of the show. And Justin wants to show off. But anyway, thank you very much to my remaining guests. So thank you very much, Justin.
Pleasure.
No problem.
Thank you, Nick.
Cool beans. All right, catch you guys there then.
Gotcha. And thank you very much, Doctordoom.
Thank you very much. Talk to you soon.
Okay. Anyway, let me just mute my guests. Where the hell did I put that window? There it is. Yeah, guys. As per usual. Yeah, you were watching. The People stream. I've got a YouTube channel, Article 12, and you can follow me on Twitter at @General Skirmish. And yeah, because I forgot to announce, because I'm going to CEO at the end of this month. Yes, that CEO, the one in Florida. There's gonna be no more tournament standard times for a bloody long time because I'm gonna be training like mad, like proper Rocky style. I probably might even train myself so you guys can troll me, throw some inspirational tunes and stuff. But yeah, there won't be a tournament standard time for a while. I will, however, finish up them graphics that I was doing with my mate Bento, and we'll probably body time splitters before, so that probably might come out Monday, Wednesday. But like I said, if you follow me on Twitter, and I'll probably put it on my Facebook since somebody's asked. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching this show, and I hope you enjoyed this 25th special. Adios!